Project Highrise. What is this crazy game about? New game. 1 Business Plaza. Easy. So I always liked Sim Tower. This seems to be an opportunity to play a Sim Tower style game. Proof of concept. Daily rent goal $1,000. Construct floor and infrastructure. Connect buildings. Allocate offices. I think that's what you want. So if I was going to have an office, where would I want it? Now remember there's some gotchas here because you have utilities and phones and stuff. So I'm going to bring it right there. You've allocated empty space for rent. Make sure you click on it and set it to be advertised so that you can find a tenant. Okay. So accounting companies seem to offer more money. There we go. So far, so amazing. So while that guy's just walking around, I'm just gonna check my sound settings on my computer briefly. And we're good again. You can take on additional contracts to earn cash. So anyway, while that's going on, I think we need to allocate another office because it's going to take time. And something we need to do, if I recall, you might need to hook up phones. So we go to phones. There we go. How do we exit that? And we right click. Good. So if you've played Sim Tower, it's pretty much the same as Sim Tower, but without the automated people moving in. Build faster. Oh, what's wrong? What's that mean? We can't function without power. Okay, fair enough. So we're going to route the power lines through. Boom. And that's how we roll. If only life was this easy. Good. 2 offices full. So there was something weird that if you try to build a restaurant or something, you'll need water. So I'm gonna see what we need to do here. For example, you need this water room like that, and then you're going to need a water distribution thing. Plumbing closet. I think we're good now. So then that will let me build some sort of restaurant. Speed up time again. Does mean I've kind of screwed up this floor. Hello, you. How's it going, Neil? Sushi, sushi or hoagies? Well, this sushi shop pays more rent. Just the 2 of us. We can make it if we try. It says 0 watching on my screen, so I have no idea. It could be just the 2 of you. Could be just the 0 of you. Maybe the 1. It doesn't matter because I'm just going to keep on playing. So we've got the electricity. Why should they be displeased now? How are they ready considering moving out? Hang on a minute, hang on a minute. Why do they want to move out? I think that was before they had electricity, surely. Now they should be happy. Yeah, Neil, it's exactly like Sim Tower, so I really like it. I used to love Sim Tower. So it's a bit like Sim Tower, but with a little bit more, I would say simple build dynamics. It's just different build dynamics. But what's nice is you can definitely build your buildings up, down, left, and right like Sim Tower. But it sets you these sort of daily goals and contracts. It's just pretty much like most sim games of the type that we've missed, I think, in recent years. The vertical Sim City. Oh yeah, there you go. I was just wondering, is there a way to move up? And you can move up. So you can actually just build whole floors and stuff if you want to. Look like, I don't know if I want to do it now, but just to show you, I will. Why not? Boom. Oh, but apparently they can't get there because there's no stairs. And I built a food shop, a sushi shop where my stairwell should be. I kind of feel bad kicking them out. They've only literally just opened their restaurant. Maybe I should just see if I can make my building better that way. Yeah, why not? It's just money. So we can get rid of this one. I don't know how you get rid of something. Bulldoze. And then put stairs. Boom! Just like that. And then we'll do Super Pursuit speed up mode. Neil, do you remember in Sim Tower though, was there a speed up thing? I thought you can zoom right in. Give me a sandwich. Hey you guys, do you want to buy one of my sandwiches? They're all the same sandwich, mind, but they're huge. The sandwich literally takes up the whole shelf. That's value. Okay, so yesterday's rent was 320. Daily rent goal is 1,000. So what I'm going to do now then is instructify the building people just to sort of fill this with offices. There we go. Everybody knows a badger likes mashed potato. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, these are good. Detectives. Hey, Becky. Hey, Costado. Uh-oh. Let's slow down. Let's take this down. Slow it down to Chinatown because we don't have telephones. They always love bloody telephones, don't they, in this game? Oh, that means we need telephone cupboards. How do I get a telephone cupboard? That one. Can I do that? Yeah, we can do that. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Why can't I route these? That's good. What's wrong with this one? Oh, I think he's already got telephone, basically. Why are they complaining then? Not enough phone switchboards. Oh, bollocks. Okay. Let's add a phone switchboard. I don't remember having this level of detail. Hey, Andrew. Sex pests adds an additional. Ooh, that's a monster. But boom. How about that now? That is some fat as phone exchange. Boom. Right, good. Scrambled eggs on toast. Toast. How do you... Why are they complaining about the phone? Hang on a bastard minute. Phone. Oh, did L Dickhead just add an electrical box, not a phone box? You can't afford this. Fudge. What can I afford? Pee Wee Herman's one. Come on, you'll be happy now. You got your phones. Do do do. I'm going to go on the Patreon streaming talk just in case any of my channel sex pests are going to be on there. Right, so good. I have had a very weird evening, by the way. Very weird. I had a quite intense day of coding, lots of coding intensity, and I came home and then did computer stuff at home, more work, and then I wanted to escape my house. Have you ever felt?
Call for a sex pest.
Oh yes, there you go. Mr. Dalton, are you feeling bored?
I'm having one of them nights, you know.
I do know. I say it was just I got home from the office stuff, and I don't know. I wanted to escape. The walls were closing in on me. I don't know if you ever felt that feeling when the walls are closing in on you, and I didn't really know what to do, so I just went and got petrol, like we all do.
Did you buy anything else at the petrol station?
I was tempted. I had a look in the petrol station stuff, but nothing caught my eye. A bag of almonds. I think that was my.
You didn't fancy a Ginster's buffet bar?
Not really. I was fairly ambivalent about it. It wasn't my regular petrol station as well, and I kind of felt I'd paid 20 quid extra for my tank of fuel, so I wasn't feeling generous. Hooray!
Yeah. So everyone in the chat, what's your favourite brand of petrol?
Increase your building population to 50. I always just go for the cheapest.
Yeah, me too. Normally, except when I had my remapped Octavia, it didn't like Tesco diesel.
Really?
Ran rough on it.
That is not good. One of my vehicles is a dual fuel and it uses gas.
Is that the Beast?
Which one? They're both kind of beasty, but yes, one of the beasts.
Right.
And I always try to. Sometimes when I'm filling the pump, I'll fill both tanks simultaneously, like with two hands on the guns.
Do you have to pay independently for that, or do they kind of consolidate the bill?
The pumps have two different numbers, but it consolidates on the bill.
I
always thought that they would maybe shout at me, you know, for doing that, but they don't seem to care. Gas is a very tedious thing to fill because it takes ages and it depends on the temperature and stuff.
Whatever happened to hydrogen fuel cell cars?
Well, one of our customers was one of the first kind of companies to do it. I don't know how they're getting on.
Because a while ago they were on about they were going to be the absolute future, weren't they?
I think they're. You can get hydrogen, can't you, at Beaconsfield, and you can get LPG at Beaconsfield. So there's certainly, and buses are running on it and stuff. So I don't know really. It's just more commercial. Right, let's fill up this offices. Would you go for an electric car?
Not a pure electric, no, because it wouldn't suit my lifestyle.
I remember when I spent a bit of time in them, and you've got this kind of anxiety all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You see, the problem I've got, for example, is with my work pattern. I either drive a lot of the time. It would be fine because I'm not doing any great miles. I either do a lot of local miles or massive long journeys. I don't kind of have a happy medium.
Yeah, no, I don't think you could do it. I mean, if you predict that you're going to be somewhere at a certain time and it just won't happen.
Yeah,
That's what happens because it's like the car is it's kind of lying to you. It's the same as your phone. It says like, you've got 300 miles left and you'll drive like an absolute, I don't know, none.
yeah.
No
And the
heat, no
problem you've got
thing,
is as well, it's
slowly.
like on the electric cars, if you put the aircon on, that massively kills it, doesn't it?
Anything, heating, cooling, turning on
Mm,
your lights. Um, no, it's just very stressful. And I think if you, and the problem is you end up spending so much time in service stations, way more than you ever have in your life. And we're not used to that in the UK. In the US, you've got these massive distances and you're always filling up for fuel.
yeah,
You've got to drive like 1,000 miles in a car that does 16 mpg. You're always in them, and every town has got like loads of service stations and loads of restaurants and loads of things. You've got stuff kind of to do. You can hang out, but where all the Tesla superchargers are, for example, they're all in the middle of these sort of scary industrial estates and stuff. And
well,
you're just
that's the other problem as well. Is the superchargers. They've just installed a supercharger in Bridgend where I live, and that's in Tesco, not Tesco, in Sainsbury's.
oh really?
Mm, we've just got a supercharger, but looking like this, for example, next week I've got to go to Derby for the day.
I'm sorry to hear
For a
that.
night. I know I've got to go to Derby, but that is 178 miles each way. That's quite a long way on an electric car.
Yeah, I mean, what were the Teslas saying they were doing? 300 and something?
Well, it says here that the Model 3 has a 325-mile range, but of course that's going to be in perfect conditions.
Yes, that's true. Like as in parked on your drive with just the MP3
Yeah,
player running.
yeah. And that's, all the Teslas have got a 300-ish mile range. So say that I go to this place in Derby, right? I am staying at staying hotel booking. I am going to be staying overnight because I don't care if people know where I'm staying on the stream. It's not particularly a sensitive.
They're all going to come and find you. By the way,
All gonna
did
go.
you notice the green screen is up? I put it up especially for this stream.
Well, that's nice. It is better using the green screen. So I am staying at Holiday Inn on the M1 at Junction 28. Let's see, do they have electric car charging facilities there?
Hi from Flat Cap Country. Hello, Lee. Which is Flat Cap Country? It's really anywhere north of, I don't know, Coventry?
Yorkshire, anywhere like that. So we've got you. Okay, so welcome to Holiday Inn South Normanton M1 Junction 28. Let's have a look. We've got you covered. Kids eat, stay free. High-speed internet, shuttle parking. Right, let's check the parking.
I've noticed the graphics for these offices are... They've not really mixed them up. Each office has a bottle of whiskey, a bureau, and a desk with either with looks like knives in it. One of those things that chefs have knives in on their desks. That's interesting. Good letter openers.
Okay, so the Holiday Inn where I'm staying does not have an electric car charging facility.
Oh, it doesn't have one at all.
Nope, not one at all. However, the motorway services next to them do. So that would be a pain in the ass because I'd have to leave my car at the services and then move it to the Holiday Inn afterwards.
But you might not even yeah, and it might be that thing that you're only some of the I say superchargers because that's the Tesla brand, but some of the other branded ones in the UK they only allow you so many minutes at a motorway one, like it'd be half an hour maximum.
Yeah.
And not only that, there's loads of competing companies do it, and each company has their own app and their own payment card system and their own everything. So it's just
Yeah,
nightmare.
exactly.
Oh, Lee says he's in Bakewell, Derbyshire. I
Oh, it's
love
in Bakewell.
I love Bakewell tart. Mm.
Well, Lee, I'm going to be up in Derby as well. So,
I used to like that region when I used to live up that way. Up that way, me duck.
yeah.
It's good though. You get loads of really cheap food up there. Everything was cheap. Houses, food. Going to Morrison's. We didn't even have I didn't even know what Morrison's was till I went up there.
Morrison's is a northern supermarket by
Yeah,
Eck.
we've got one in Aylesbury here now, so they're sort of
Yeah.
creeping down. But what always impressed me was that you could buy like, I don't know, it was like a family feast. It would be like 2 pizzas, 2 doner kebabs, and a bottle of Coke, and it would be 4 quid. It'd be something ridiculous.
Well, I'm going to be in Ripley, which is by Derby.
Yeah, Ripley.
Mm,
Believe it or not,
that's right.
that's where you're going to be. Oh, I get enough to build my floor now. Because I need to build apparently couriers and parcel force and everything. Otherwise my tenants will be disgruntled.
But no, as we were saying, an electric car for that's a fairly standard journey for me. And it's not going realistically anywhere that far into the country.
No, it's just it's still a bit of a joke.
That's what I mean. And then, like for example, when I've driven up to Liverpool or driven up to Newcastle before, then those kind of places would be a problem.
You'd have to get the bus,
Mm.
the Charabang.
That's why I like the fact that my car is diesel at the moment, and if the fuel is low in it, I just go up to one of thousands of places that are open, and I can refuel the car in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's the benefit of those fossil fuels. They really have a lot going for them, don't they?
They do. They do.
I'm
And they make
surprised
the
I haven't
planet.
caught
And they
on.
make the planet warmer.
Lovely and warm.
Yeah.
No, that's an interesting one. I think it will change. I think that Bakewell pudding's not tarts. What's a Bakewell pudding, Mr. Dalton? Bakewell pudding.
Don't know. Between a Bakewell pudding and a Bakewell tart. Oh, it looks like Bakewell pudding is an English dessert consisting of flaky pastry base with a layer of sieved jam topped with a filling made of egg and almond paste.
Oh. You know what I'm going to make soon? I had some nice food when I was on my vacation,
Mm-hmm.
and someone cooked for us a baked cheesecake, and it was amaze balls. And
Well,
they gave me the whole.
if Retro Man Cave is here, I make baked cheesecake.
Ooh, there you go. I love a baked cheesecake because it's kind of a bit like a cheesecake creme caramel. You know, it's kind of it's got that whole vibe about it. But now here's the question I can ask you. Where would you advise me to buy my cheese from?
The supermarket is just Philadelphia.
But do you buy it in the 1.6 kilo block or do you just get it in a...
No, you don't want that much.
How
No,
much do you really need in a cheese? I've got no concept. I kind of think, is it all cheese? I mean, what is it?
No. So what you need is you do need a. Oh, Nigel's there. Oh, Craig. Craig loves
Nigel's becoming
Craig
my
loves baked
favourite.
cheesecake
Nigel,
because I gave him my.
you're my favourite. We're doing all that baking. Send us some baking.
I gave Craig my baked cheesecake recipe.
Oh. Well, I've got a baked cheesecake recipe. So would you like me to say what my one is, and we can hear? Because this was the one that was given to me while I was out there. It's got to scour my phone for it, but they give it to me on a handwritten note. Here we go. Got it here. So, 1 kilo of queso Philadelphia cheese.
Or queso is Spanish for cheese.
300 grams of sugar, sugar, right? 5 eggs, 30 grams of Messina, which I think is kind of like a baking powder or aspic or something.
Messina, how do you spell that?
Maicena. And 500 grams of cream, 500 grams of nata.
Corn flour.
300 grams, 30 grams of corn flour, 500 grams of cream.
Hmm.
And yeah, it says put it into a 21 to 22 centimeter mold, like dish, at
Yes.
180 degrees
Do you not have
for
a biscuit?
60
Do you not?
minutes.
No biscuit base.
No, that's the bit thing. That's what I loved about it. There was no biscuit base, none of that biscuit shit.
Oh
And
no, I do it with a good buttery biscuit base.
well, this is where it was a revelation to me because I didn't know you could do it without a biscuit base. And that to me I was like, great, because I'm sure your biscuit base is amazing, but the biscuit base I always think isn't necessary. I'm a blancmange creme caramel kind of guy. I
Yeah,
don't
well,
need the
you
biscuit
could
base.
make my recipe without it. But I make a white chocolate and raspberry cheesecake. They
Does
go
it
to
have
recipes.
the raspberry bleeding through it, like
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
do like that. I want to make this thing. I think it's called. Hang on. Yeah. I don't want to embarrass myself. Yeah, Struffoli, Italian. Look, I want to
Is it
make these
pronounced?
because I'm sure I had them once and it was amazing. These little balls, sweet, sugary, pastry type things, but not like those ones with the chocolate on and the cream inside. You know the ones I'm talking about.
Hmm.
They were more solid, like little dough balls. No, come on, Becky. Digestive biscuits. I mean, if I was going to do a cheesecake with a biscuit bake, I would make the friggin' biscuit first. I think if it was me, I would definitely go that far and say, if I'm going to do it, I'll do it properly. There you go, Nigel.
Well, no, I've done it. I have done a delicious milk chocolate and apricot cheesecake with a ginger biscuit base.
Mmm.
That was good.
Mmm. It's making me feel hungry.
Mm.
Copy services. I need to add copier services. I mean, who has copier services these days?
What do you mean by copier services?
Like
So,
photocopier.
what, who has a photocopier or
No,
who has a
in this
server?
game, he's looking for this office. It's like a lawyer office, and they're looking for like a reprographic center, I guess. But you
Mm.
do that yourself now, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I suppose you might have one in the building if you were a big law firm. You might have like a copying room where you have people to, produce. Where you've got like a 4,000 page case file and you need to provide 10 copies of it or something.
That's something they do in America, isn't it? I don't know if they do that here,
Yeah.
where they just like to screw each other over. They say, "Okay, we'll give you the full like disclosure and just all of the shit they have." And
Yeah,
then,
no, in America they have to if you request it. Both sides must provide all copies of all their material to the other side before the case.
yeah, but what I mean is, it's like a cheeky way to hide
Mm.
also the
Oh
relevant
yeah,
stuff among all the bollocks.
yeah.
Oh, you could have an elevator here. Maybe I should have put elevators. Upkeep costs 50 quid a day. Hey, now here's an interesting tale. I don't know if I told you. When I was on holiday, I
Mm.
experienced a first for me, and that was
The
getting.
love of a man.
I was gonna like, if I say no, what does that mean? Like, no, that wasn't the first, or no, I didn't experience that. Um, but no, I experienced getting stuck in an elevator.
Oh.
And I was with my kids and wife and everybody in the elevator, and one of my eldest sons said something like, haha, wouldn't it be funny if this frigging thing stopped? And wouldn't you guess what happened? Literally, as he said it, it stopped. Stopped between floors, like every movie you've seen.
Mm-hmm.
So I pushed that little button, like as you do, everyone's like slamming that button because you're in like this one of those tiny elevators, like in
Yeah,
a.
because all it really is a speakerphone, isn't it? It just makes a call to somebody and.
But that's what it is. It doesn't make a call to friggin' anyone. I thought it goes to like, like the head office for Otis or something. This was an
Yeah.
Otis lift. It doesn't do fuck all. You push the button and it rings an alarm on the floors. Each floor is like a buzzer. You notice when you look at an
Oh.
elevator, you see a little red thing. It's not a fire
Yeah.
alarm. It's the elevator alarm. And you're hoping someone will come out, basically. And we knew the people in the building, fortunately, and they had a key, like, from a janitor or something to override to open the door. So they opened the door, and it was like, halfway between floors, like like you see in every frigging horror movie. So I'm like helping everybody out through the friggin' thing. Like you're just pushing them out the last second because you think it's going to slam down and chop someone in half, pushing your kids
Right.
through. And then I felt like I was Bruce Willis. You know, you sort of jump through and you go, ah!
Yeah.
Like when you're young and you think you're running in the dark and you think there's skeletons behind you going to eat you. Do you ever get that? Maybe you don't do that.
I know what you mean, but your problem was you didn't take the right brand of lift.
Well, it's Otis. I mean, Otis is the best, surely.
What about Schindler's Lifts? Seriously. It's a real brand, Schindler's Lifts. And I'm not joking.
Well, I do. I have seen Schindler, but I haven't seen it called Schindler's List. But it makes sense. They probably have all sorts of Schindler's facilities.
Yeah, Schindler Group.
I've never,
Schindler's Lift.
I've never seen Schindler's List, by the way.
Apparently, it's not. I've not seen it.
It's apparently it's not a hoot. Is that what you-
It's not a. It's not a jape-filled film. No, it's not a rip-roaring adventure.
Oh, can we talk movies?
Of course we can. Always.
Right. So I watched Hellboy,
Oh, the remake. How
the
did you feel
remake
about it?
starring Stranger Things guy.
Mm.
I enjoyed it,
Apparently, you're the only one who did.
and I don't know why. I thought it was fine. I
I
thought it
think the
was
problem
fine.
is it's fine, but it's not. It's unnecessary because they should have continued with the original Hellboy people.
Do you think that? Well, it felt to me like it was not even a remake, like a whole new.
It is a reboot of it, but
A
they're saying
reboot,
that
yeah.
the other one was perfectly good as it was.
But it was fine. You know,
Mm,
I don't think it deserved the
the
hate
hate.
it seemed to get.
Did you watch Kid Who Would Be King yet?
I have, yeah, it was all right. It's not a
Did you
movie
care-
that you would go and see in the
I did.
cinema.
I really enjoyed it.
My youngsters enjoyed it, yeah, they did.
I thought they would. How long? For how long afterwards were they trying to do the magic spell thing with their hands?
I don't remember. It was a while back. I'm sure they were trying.
Yes.
I did watch something with them recently. I can't remember. There's something on TV called Horrible Histories. Have you heard of that show?
Yes, my niece is obsessed with it. There's
So-
a film of it now.
My sons were unhappy with it.
Really? What, the film?
They watched Horrible Histories, the sort of TV series, and later came to me and said, "Daddy, I don't want to watch Horrible Histories again." I was like, "Why not? There's like 7 series of it." And they were like, "It's scary and there's blood in it." So
Oh. Don't put on Who Framed Roger Rabbit for them.
well, what was that one? Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck, yeah, that's got sex in it.
That was a weird film, wasn't it? Howard the Duck.
Yeah, very weird film.
Come on, I want to paste this thing. I'm sure I watched loads of other things. I restarted watching Knight Rider again.
Oh, the original Knight Rider, yeah.
Something about Knight Rider though. I don't know if you when you're watching it and it starts doing that didn't 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 you know that the music. It's fucking amazing, isn't it?
Yes.
It's like literally like wow, they just made the perfect thing.
It's a great series. It's just the music, everything works just really well on it.
I think it still holds up as well. And to be fair, I think you can watch Fall Guy, A-Team, a lot of those things, and they also
Yeah, they're not bad.
the Fall Guy is actually probably one of my favorite. I like them all, to be honest. There should just be a channel where they just show only those things.
They used to. It's called Bravo.
Oh,
Tell you what you should watch is Airwolf, but watch the first series of it because Airwolf is the first series is not like it's more like a political Cold War thriller.
really? Oh, hey David, how are you? Hello you.
It's more like a Cold War thriller kind of thing as opposed to your regular action film.
Oh, I'll give it a go.
Mm.
I'm always willing. What's wrong? Not enough
Werewolf and
electric.
Street Hawk. Yes, Becky, Street Hawk. 13 episodes. Jesse Mack and Norman Tuttle.
Oh, valid placement below ground. Why do you have to place electrical boxes below ground, you Billy Bunter? Right, I'm gonna have to place a phone switchboard here. What?
I know it sounds really, really mean, but I do feel that Jan Michael Vincent is possibly in a better place now he's dead.
He's better now he's dead. He was
Well,
looking
no.
really fucked up.
What, for his age? Yeah.
Ugh.
Considering he was like in his late 60s, early 70s, and he looked about 98. Yeah.
Why is this tenant wanting to move out? He's got electric, he's got phone. Yeah, he looked weird. His legs were all dashed, weren't they?
Well, that was from a blood clot connected with diabetes.
Hmm.
But considering he was a very athletic, handsome, young kind of actor in his prime, and what he ended up becoming.
Well, you never know, Andrew, what the future holds.
Well, I'm not a big coke head.
If you're going to be screwed up in the future, which face it, you probably will. We probably all will.
Yeah.
Can you? What kind of screwed upness would you like to be? Would you like to be scary in a wheelchair like that guy in Breaking Bad with a little bell, or John Michael Vincent scary?
Velociraptor's saying about chips.
Oh, I love that movie. I love that movie. You know
I hate the movie.
I like
Automan
the
and
series and I
Manimal.
love the movie.
Automan and Manimal. I actually have Chuck Wagner, the main actor from Automan, on my LinkedIn contacts list.
Wow.
Yeah. A Manimal with Simon Corkindale, who died a few years ago, unfortunately.
I'm all geared up for watching some Velocipasta.
Oh, yes, Velocipasta.
And what was the other one? Oh, crikey. The other dinosaur show. There we go.
All right, man. Let me have a look.
It's like the undercover detective dinosaur.
It's like Anonymous Rex.
Anonymous Rex. There you go.
Yeah.
Basically, the Super Mario World movie. The Super Mario Brothers movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
With one of the Baldwin brothers as a Tyrannosaur
Yeah, but there's
policeman.
about 900 Baldwin brothers.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up with them. Which is the best one? Is it like Alec Baldwin's the best one, isn't it?
I think Alec is the most popular one.
And there's a few little ones.
Mm.
I watched Cake Boss, by the way. Just thought I'd get it out there.
I enjoy Cake Boss. And I'm going to be in Florida in about 3 weeks' time. They've got one of his bakeries in Florida I'm going to go visit.
Ooh, you're going to taste his tasty buns.
His cake, I'm probably going to have a cannoli, I think.
You're not going to have a strafoli.
No, I'm going to have a cannoli.
I'm having one of your cannolis. What's a cannoli, though? It looks to me like a cream-filled, well,
yeah, it looks
cannoli.
Looks a bit like a brandy snap, as we'd call
Are they
it.
crispy or are they soft, like a pancake?
Apparently they're crispy-ish.
I'm liking what I'm hearing.
Mm.
Well, I think we're almost there with this office. Although I think I need to add an extra chunk because we're not divisible by the correct number.
What sucks about being a Baldwin?
Come on, we're waiting. Is there a punchline? Come on, I'm waiting for the punch.
Nothing sucks about being a Baldwin. Okay. That was a bit anticlimactic, actually.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be something amazing.
Yeah.
Or really rude.
You oversold it there, Lee.
He got me all juiced up.
Mm.
Why can't I unassign empty office space? That is balls.
Tonal Axis says, hey, What is this crazy guy?
What is this crazy guy?
Oh, it's a movie. Okay, Lee says it's a movie quote from South Park. Sorry, I didn't know that. Tonal Access wants to know what is this crazy game you're playing?
It's called Project Highrise, and it's basically a modern take on the Sim Tower genre. Oh, I got Bulldoze here. Bulldoze you.
Well, Velociraptor, if you work really hard, you can be.
I want Velociraptor to be my Velocipasta.
Yes.
He's already got like half the name set up.
Well, it's a fact. That film's based on a true story.
Is it really?
Yeah. About a priest who gains the power to turn into a velociraptor and fight crime. It's based on a true story, yeah.
That makes a lot of sense, really.
Yeah.
Boom! Shake, shake, shake the room. Tick, 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 tick. Boom! Look at this. Look at this. I should be an electrician. What's your do you remember like back in the day you had Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and all that lot? What was your favourite
Yes.
show from the kind of mid to late 90s?
Ooh. I used to enjoy Lois and Clark.
I never watched that. I've never seen that. Is it good?
Not really. Not by today's standards.
But it's some sort of Superman thing.
Yeah. It was like a borderline comedy adventure with romance story of Superman and Lois Lane.
Might catch
Problem
an
was-
episode.
Problem was Dean Kane's a bad actor.
He used to be a porn star, didn't he?
No, he's a football player.
Did you ever watch Cougar Town? I think that's what it was called.
No.
I really liked it. It's amazing.
Original first few series of X-Files was something I watched quite a bit of.
What has happened to Gillian Anderson? She looks amazing. Oh, my tenants are really annoyed, probably because they haven't got phone lines or electricity hooked up. That's the problem with millennials. They want everything, don't they?
Oh, that video I sent you yesterday.
Of entitled millennials.
How dare they fire me for not completing the training of my job to a satisfactory level, not obeying the dress code, and not turning up for my shift? How dare they fire me?
So I take it you weren't sympathetic.
No. It genuinely pissed me off, that literally, that whole, like, thinking there's something wrong with the world because she wants a job and won't comply by their rules. It's like, how dare they?
And they're somehow then
Yeah, they're at fault somehow.
At fault for that.
Yeah, they're victimizing, bullying her because she's working in a food preparation area and they don't want her to wear a nose ring, and she can't. They want her to behave a certain way. Oh, Velociraptor! I'll send you it later. There's a YouTube video of this girl she's a wannabe professional. She's a proper wannabe professional social media influencer, isn't she? The way she's doing the video. She's got no subscribers, no whatever, and she got fired from her job. And she does this video bitching about getting fired and how unreasonable they were.
Hello, Mon.
And Alf, yes. Alf was good. Metal Mickey was shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Wasn't that a northern comedy?
It was a northern robot comedy. Directed by Mickey DeLenz from the Monkeys. The Monkeys.
Oh, right. Do you think, do you remember like Hale and Pace?
Yeah.
That's painful. Go watch an
It
episode of
is.
Hale and Pace now. You won't be able to stand it.
Try and watch an episode of Little and Large.
Oh, I kind of this sort of thing I remember liking as a kid, but yeah, I've got no
Yeah,
idea what
try
that's like.
watching it now.
Is it just bad?
It is excruciating because they also are so fucking talentless, the pair of them.
Are they really? Does it just show what
Yeah.
you could get away with back in there?
Oh yeah.
Hmm. Oh, I like Russ Abbott though, Neil. I think he'd probably be all right. Because it was
Russ
kind of
Abbott.
sketch humor, wasn't it, Russ Abbott?
Russ Abbott Laughter Show or Russ Abbott's Madhouse, Neil. With songs of joy and
Tears of
laughter.
laughter.
Yeah, Lee, watch yourself. We've got Velociraptor here. Don't be dissing Super Gran in front of him. Gudrun Ure, she's actually royalty in Scotland.
Stand back, Superman, Iceman,
Iceman,
Spider-Man,
Spider-Man,
Batman, and
Robin,
Robin too.
Oh, I enjoyed Super Gran, even though it was.
It was alright. No, it wasn't.
That's
It's
right,
shit.
she's my gran. She's a serious granny.
Super Grand. She does things. Yeah, that's a weird line now, isn't it? She does things that you never thought your granny would do. It'd be
Never
like,
see your granny do. And the guy goes, "Is there nothing that you can do?"
I quite like you. I remember like Rabsy Nesbit and stuff. That was alright.
Rabsy Nesbit was good fun.
Chelmsford 123 was good. Did you remember Nightingales? I think it was called.
Oh, was Nightingales a nurse drama?
No, it had the guy from My Family in it.
All right, no, I don't remember.
Oh, we're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah, Nightingales was a story about nurse students.
Yeah, well, I could be just thinking about the wrong thing, of course. I'm
Maybe.
often wrong.
Oh, hang on. There was 2 series called Nightingales. There was also a sitcom called Nightingales as well.
Maybe that was the one I'm thinking about.
Yes.
I quite like Benidorm. That's one of my favourites.
First few seasons of it were good.
Mel. The actor then, went on and died mid flow. Spoilt it all.
That's kind of what killed the show, though, when he died, wasn't it?
Well, they were to just change the whole storyline and everything, and I think it went all right after that. It was okay. Ooh, what's this? Messenger. Facebook.
What about?
Oh, Bakewell pudding. Bakewell pudding.
What about Rent a Ghost?
Lee, this is the Bakewell pudding you sent me, isn't it? And you only live literally 2 minutes from me, so well, I'm just doing some mental arithmetic here. Oh, electricity. No money for electricity. Sorry, guys. That looks really good, though. Is it? Do you have to cook? Is it cooked in the pan and then you put the whole pan in the? I'll see if I can do a picture without revealing who your secret identity. I'll put my finger over it. But yeah, look, it's a whole frying pan in a sort of skillet type thing with crushed almonds. It looks like. Oh, it's not crushed, sliced almonds with a bit of icing sugar. Yeah, I could do with that.
Velociraptor, I will not hear a bad word said against the film Highlander. It is a great film.
Oh, when are we going to do our movie watching? Because Highlander should be part of that, as in.
Highlander should be, but we have to be very careful how we do movie watching.
Well, we can't do it in a live stream, at least.
No,
We can all be in
certain-
the live stream, but the actual content of the movie can't be in the stream.
Exactly, and we have to be very careful when we're watching it that we do not, as part of the live stream, broadcast anything that's part of the movie.
Okay, so that means we could all sit around with headphones on, so we're listening to the
Yes,
sound
which
and the
is
movie
exactly the
playing.
whole thing I've been working on.
And what we could do is, to anybody who wants to watch it, either they can maybe join another secret stream, or they have the movie lined up, and we have a countdown that says like 3, 2, 1.
Alternatively, we use something called Netflix Party, which is a plugin I've got for Chrome, and it lets one person control everyone's Netflix stream.
Oh, that sounds good and dangerous.
Yes.
You know the sort of things I like to watch on Netflix.
there's nothing that bad on Netflix, unfortunately.
Documentaries about sport. Okay, that's kind of now. Hopefully, they won't be so
Only
pissed off.
problem is there's no Highlander on Netflix at the moment.
Does it annoy you sometimes where you go, right, I'm going to settle down and watch whatever it is, and then you get down there and it's like done?
But who might be up for watching Roadhouse on Netflix?
Me,
Okay.
I've intended to watch it as well, and it's something I kind of thought I'd watch with my wife, but I didn't think she'd appreciate, so I didn't want to waste it.
Well, depending on how we do this weekend, I'm going to say potentially Sunday afternoon, we will do a live stream of Roadhouse.
Ooh, that sounds good to me.
I will get the technology sorted.
Get the snacks out.
Get the snacks, and we will have a couple guests. We'll sit there on a live stream with chat, Netflix party set up, and we'll watch Roadhouse.
That sounds perfect, and I could see if that all goes well, 'cause it's a bit busy right now. I would like to precede one of those with a little mini live stream or a video, like a 5-minute video, showing the ultimate cinema food, and I want to make my ultimate cinema mix. I'm going to take popcorn. I'm going to add to it a packet of Revels. I'm going to maybe top it off with some Maltesers because I like those. I'm going to add, I might even add some licorice comfits, to be honest with you, because I like them. Mix it all up.
Do a thing now. You can buy like a little tub of sweets to tip onto the top of your popcorn.
No, I didn't. That sounds good.
Yeah, it's right.
But I think we could do better.
I'm also going to say mushroom popcorn is better than butterfly popcorn.
What? Hang on. What do you mean what's butterfly popcorn and what's mushroom popcorn?
There are different types of popcorn kernels you can get.
Okay, gotcha.
And the mushroom ones go kind of puff up and go round, and the butterfly, the traditional ones that kind of almost go sort of three-sided.
Oh.
I prefer mushroom popcorn.
Okay.
It's not I don't think it's as gritty.
How do you deal with this? So if this thing's blown up, do I just have to replace it? I guess I do. There's no real other viable alternative to popcorn, is there, really?
Not really.
It's the best.
Yeah. Kernel popcorn.
I think the big office here is pointless. I don't think you've got enough tenants to move into such a huge office, so I'm going to make lots more little ones. I remember sometimes seeing a like a popcorn type kit thing where they show like a whole popcorn cob.
Mm-hmm.
A corn on the cob. Do you know what I mean?
I've heard of that, yeah.
But I'm not sure what you do with that. If you microwave it or something,
I think you just microwave it, yeah. Not my thing.
I quite like just the ones that come in a bag. Nuke them. I've got one of those things as well where you put in the kernels and it dinks it all around. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The one but it tends to kind of fire out of its nozzle all over the place. But the best way really is just the oil in the big pan. I mean, that works.
That is the best way. That is the best way.
I find it very hard to get a nice sweet popcorn, so I'm trying to think maybe I need to make a sugary syrup, something that I can kind of spray on it. How do you?
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, there's an American product I wish I could buy here, but can't get them. It's called the Stir Crazy Popcorn Maker, and what happens is, as you're popping the corn, it stirs it basically. So you can put all your butter and your toppings in the bottom, and it's got like a little paddle, a bit like an Actifry type thing.
Right.
And as the popcorn's popping, it's stirring it in the butter.
And is that what you need to ensure a good texture?
Yes.
Because you want the sugary stuff or whatever to be applied, but not actually hang around, do you? You want it to just sort of evaporate off all the moisture. Dissolve sweeteners in water and spray it. Caramel. So Nigel, how do you make a caramel popcorn? What do you how do you cut that? Do you just literally make a separate batch of caramel and just pour it all over? Like in Spain, they have something which is called like a popcorn torrone or whatever, which is just literally popcorn, and they put it on a dish and they cover it with loads of things like caramel or syrups and honeys and nuts and things. But it's not popcorn as we know it because it becomes like a popcorn block that you want to smash a chunk off.
Mm.
Still good though. Want some now, obviously.
Good fresh popcorn's really good, but crap popcorn's dreadful. You see,
Shit.
this is another thing about popcorn I'm going to talk about now. Cinemas used to pop popcorn fresh. They used to have popping rooms in the cinema, they'd call it.
Yeah.
Now they receive their popcorn. Cinema popcorn's always sort of squeaky because it's stale.
Ah.
Because they, and this is what I don't understand, the popcorn is shipped to them pre-popped in big bin bags.
Big like pink bin bags. I've seen that.
Yeah. Well, I would have thought from a shipping and logistics point of view, and storage as well for the cinema, it's better to ship it as kernels.
I wonder if it's the same weight.
It might be the same weight, but volume-wise, in a vehicle.
Hooray!
But I mean, volumetrically, it's going to be an enormous amount more, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. Really, I don't know the. I suspect though, if it was going to be much more expensive or whatever, they wouldn't do it. So I guess it's not.
I don't know. It's.
I haven't put electricity to these offices. That's a bit of a no-no normally. Boom. Cinema foods are mainly sold to kids and couples on dates. Yeah. I've never had one of those cinema hot dogs that roll around. I imagine they're alright. Hot doggy.
I don't know. Some cinemas are getting better with the food.
Have you ever seen a vending machine sandwich?
Well, I've had a sandwich from a vending machine before.
Yeah, that always worries me a bit.
Yeah.
Not enough electrical transformers. Transformers. Have you seen Transmorphers yet?
No. Well, I have, but I didn't watch it properly.
I've never actually watched any of those things that are designed to fool your gran into buying you that for Christmas instead of a proper one. There we go. Now we got some juice. Ain't my fault that I'm not getting use. Gonna blame it on juice.
I might have a go at making some kettle corn.
What's kettle corn then?
Kettle corn's basically very sugary, sweet popcorn.
Hmm.
You need popcorn kernels, vegetable oil, sugar, and salt. It's
What?
basically just keep stirring it.
What's the thing that looks like a monkey's tooth?
I don't know.
But it's corn.
Oh, you don't mean that stuff like the
It's like
Like
as if you
crispy.
got corn and then it wasn't a corn that's popped. It's just a corn that's cooked but not popped.
It looks like a corn kernel,
Yeah, that's it.
and they're crispy, aren't they?
Crunchy. Yeah, like they'll break
Yeah,
your
it's not-
face. I don't think they are made of monkey's teeth. I think that would be wrong.
No. They're called.
Corn dog. Oh, Velociraptor. I love corn dogs. Oh my god, do I love corn dogs with that honey batter? I loved it. Oh, when I was in the US, I just eat them continuously. Those and Klondike bars. Corn dogs and Klondike bars. That is, I would
do you mean
exist on those.
corn nuts?
Yeah, corn nuts is what I mean on the other thing. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, Klondike bars. Ooh, yes,
Mm.
please. You know what? America is good for one thing. Well, probably good for several things, but one good thing they definitely have in America is the fat bastard foods.
Oh
I
yeah,
love them.
they like they like a dirty food. They like dirty food.
They would never make, right? You know how like we have chocolate bars like Cadbury's Dairy Milk Flake or something like that? They never have a chocolate that's just the fucking chocolate. Have you
No.
noticed that? It would have to be
Hmm.
something coated in something else every time.
Yeah, coated and dipped.
Coated it and dipped with nougat
Mm.
and toffee and caramel. Payday bars. I don't even remember what a payday are. I like what's that one that's really peanutty?
Mm,
It's like a
not pe-
flaky peanutty bar. You can get them here in like Asda or one of those in the American aisle.
not
Oh
Reese's.
no,
Something.
not Reese's. It's gorgeous. It's like a really sticky, finely wafered, caramelly. It might be a payday, maybe. I don't know.
Baby Ruth.
That's a payday. Hang on, I have to look up a payday.
Mm.
Is it yellow? Is it yellow? If it's a yellow with a blue, yeah, no, not a payday. Definitely not a payday. Okay, I'm just gonna have to do the research.
Three
American.
Musketeers. Baby Ruth.
When I tell you it's
Watch.
gonna be,
What shall I call it?
oh, that one. Okay, let's just bring that here. Let's just do it properly. Um, so these are like selections. So the chances are it will be in one of those things. I always think it's weird when I see nerds in an American selection because I kind of think we
Mm.
had those. But oh, Butterfinger, Butterfinger. It's this little one here down there, the yellow packet with the blue writing, a Butterfinger. If you haven't had a bucket finger, it's amazing. I have tried Velociraptor. I have had a payday. I've had all of them when I've been in the US. I'm always, in the US a few times a year, so I definitely go around. What I
You
do
might
is,
be talking about me.
oh, yeah. Well, what I do is a lot of the times I seem to find myself in the US around Halloween. So
Yes.
I end up buying like a couple of the different brands of bags. And a bag of candy you get there for Halloween is literally like 2 kilos, like a sack. And I'll just sit in my hotel room and not eat
Well,
any food, just eat those.
we're going to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party,
Not
which
so
basic
scary.
yes, Not So Scary Halloween Party. It's a Halloween party that's for younger kids,
Hmm.
and basically they give you masses and masses of free candy when you're there. Literally like selection bags of it.
So when you say free, I'm guessing it's
Well, you paid
included in the
80 quid per
price.
person to go to the party, but
Would okay, I don't know why this popped into my head when you said that about kids being scared. So without causing any sort of I don't want to give you, any legal grief or, have any legalities thrust upon you.
mhm.
But you know Michael Jackson?
Yes,
Do you reckon he was a proper pedo?
I'm undecided.
You're undecided. He could be all a bit of just
I haven't looked at. I've deliberately
not watched that
not
thing that everybody's watching.
not watched it.
And I always think it's weird because it's always like you have the Culkin brothers and stuff, don't you? And they don't comment on it. Weird, isn't it? I don't know if it's one of those things that will ever go away. Not like the Epstein.
Mm.
Let me get some more apartments built in here. Now, in this game, you apparently can build in housing apartments. So, what floor do you think? I mean, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 office floors. I reckon it could do with a few residential now. Would you like to live in a tower, Mr. Dalton?
I don't know. I don't know. Um, I've seen Poltergeist 3, and all bad shit happens in a tower there. I've never seen a film about people who are happy living in a tower where something bad doesn't happen.
Yeah, my family and relatives have lived in them. You don't. What's really weird about them? One, a lot of the time they're fucking massive. Do you know what I mean? If you've
Mm.
got like a 3-bed apartment, it's like having a whole bungalow, and it makes you realize how small bungalows are, conversely. Um, And you could be like 1 meter up or 1,000 meters up. You really just don't know. It's weird. I mean, that's
Mm,
good really that buildings don't just waft around.
it is. It is. Someone's
Nonsense.
downvoted your.
Velociraptor
Someone's
saying nonsense.
someone's downvoted your stream.
Oh, there's always regular stream downvoters. They love it. They love to downvote.
Well, considering how few people are actually watching this.
It's one of you bastards. That's basically it, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
it is.
Craig. It's always
It's
Craig.
Craig. Yeah.
He's always doing that. Craig, are you in Blackpool, by the way? If you're still here. Simba! Oh, he's going about his mattress. Craig, sorry, I didn't ask you about your mattress. Tell us about your mattress. Go on then. Oh, please don't downvote me. Tell us about your mattress. Your sex mattress. Wow, look at this. An apartment here takes up loads of units. Boom. Swingers pads. I suppose an apartment might want electricity. You know what
Velociraptor. I live in a council flat, 9 in a block. I'm moving to a big bungalow to get away from it.
But it's a council block then. That would be a different type of experience that most people have, wouldn't they?
Yeah. And Craig has not messed up Blackpool yet.
Ah, okay. I've done nothing, by the way, to the Barry trip. When is it again? Or is that secret? It's all secret, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Secret. I'll speak to you tomorrow on that because I need to have a look in the calendar and really actually do some stuff.
Yes.
So Craig, though, I've got a mattress on my bed, believe it or not, all my beds, and I've got a really weird problem. I'm going to tell you my problem. Since I started doing like loads of exercise and getting relatively lean, when I sleep on my side, I can't sleep on my side because my knobbly knees hurt. My knees hurt each other. So, Craig, as you're the expert on mattress technologies, have you got a solution for my sore knees? Oh,
Tape pillows to your knees.
tape pillows to my knees.
Yes.
Oh, people won't live in my block of flats because it doesn't have any shops. So fussy nowadays. Pillow between the knees, says Lee Collins. Is it a special pillow or just any old pillow? Or is it a euphemism for a marrow?
Yes, take a marrow.
That would be amazing, wouldn't it? You're at an airport and they're just like, what's this, sir? It's a marrow. And what does sir intend to do with it? Place it between my knees while sleeping.
Have you ever actually eaten marrow? It's tasteless.
Is it a
It's
bit like
hard.
courgette or something?
It's a bit like a cross between sort of courgette and melon.
I think I would like if Lee might want to do this. You know, I'll pay you, Lee. I'll pay you at least 50 guineas. Not knowing what a guinea is, that might have been a really big number. Lee would, I'm sure, candy a marrow for me, if rumours be true on his talents. So I'm going to put some retail shops in, apparently. That sounds a bit rude, doesn't it? Candy my marrow.
Candy your marrow, yeah.
I can't come to the phone, I'm candying my marrow. Food and beverage shops. Oh. Storeroom. This is interesting because you can see here, it really, it's like a requirement tree. Storeroom. How do I make a storeroom then?
Well, you get a room and you put things in it.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah. Storeroom. I don't remember Sim Tower being this complicated. Oh, so Lee, you're pouring sugar on yourself. There may have been a little bit of miscommunication, but you got to give it a go anyway. How long would it take to candy yourself, though? I kind of feel it's a sort of soaking in a syrup for like a few months. You'd have to fill up the bath. You could sell that, couldn't you? That like that gamer girl. Bath of my candied effluence.
Yes.
Come on, bulldozer. I can't see how you make a bloody store. Let me click that again. What did it say? Storeroom. One empty bay required. Needs an electrical line. Okay. But there's shitloads of empty bays. Maybe I've put these too close together. That's the problem. No. It's actually a courgette that has gotten too big. Well, oh, are they the same vegetable though? I think they're different things, aren't they?
Hmm.
A courgette that's got out of hand.
Now, my grandfather used to give us a marrow, and what you'd do with a marrow is you'd peel it, then you would scoop the middle out, and you'd stuff it with sausage meat and roast it.
Oh, that sounds good. So you're using it as a casing for your meat.
Yes.
That sounds like something they would do in Greece.
That's the traditional way of eating it.
What's your least favourite vegetable then?
My least favourite vegetable. Ooh. I would say probably mushrooms. They make me retch.
Would you try any other fungi or only the mushroom?
No, I've eaten other fungi stuff before. But no, mushroom, just, no, not my...
I feel it's been a while also since we've done a Craigslist stream. That has to be scheduled too, of
Oh, we
course.
have to have a look, but I don't know but they've cleaned up Craigslist, haven't they?
But I think that it's more a winter activity, isn't it? Streaming becomes a winter activity when we're all huddled in the cold with
I
nothing better to
know,
do.
but buying drugs on Craigslist was fun.
No, it was buying kid
Baby,
and
yeah, buying baby products.
mushrooms are amazing, says Craig. He likes the mushroom tip. You know what I like to make? I like to have for breakfast a fluffy omelette. And what I'll do is I'll do a 2-egg omelette with salt, pepper, and a little bit of smoked paprika. And, or celery salt, one or the other, not both. And I'll just pop that in the pan. No oil, nothing, but just on a non-stick. And what I'll do is I'll let that sit there for about 2 minutes with the lid on because it fluffs it up. And then on top I'll put just sliced cheese, as in sliced off a cheddar block, never grated. It has to be sliced off a cheddar block, 2 pieces. And then I'll put the lid on again, leave that for another probably minute. And then I'll flip the whole thing with the cheese on it upside down so that the cheese is now on the pan. And that crisps it up, like a raclette. And then I flip the whole lot from the pan onto the plate. So you don't put the scooper underneath because that'll hit the melted cheese and you'll be right screwed. But it all comes off the pan, nothing sticks to it, and that's a very satisfying breakfast omelette. Would you top your omelette with anything like a herb?
I'm not really a fan of omelettes particularly.
Oh, you heard it here first.
Not a massive fan of omelettes. They're all right. Maybe a cheese omelette, but that's about it.
That's always one in the hotels, especially abroad, to have the bespoke omelette bar.
Yes.
And they say, "What would you like?" And you just go, "I don't know, onions, mushrooms, whatever." Craig doesn't like that. He says, "Sounds shit to me." I don't know.
Well,
That's pretty brave talk, to be honest with you, about some about another man's food.
I don't know. I don't know about omelettes. They're all right. Not amazing, not bad, but
Yeah,
that's
but you remember
easy.
I kind of eat this very low, no carb way. So I've
Yeah,
got
but
to.
I've eaten low carb quite a bit before, and I just don't find omelettes don't rock my
What would you have for
rock my.
breakfast when you're on low carb?
I
It's
would.
a hard meal to fill, I think.
Oh, it is definitely. It is. I would probably just have like some boiled eggs and some ham.
Okay, so you're still going for the same ingredients, you're just preparing it differently.
Yeah, I've got to be honest. I'm just not that big a fan of. Uh, Not a big fan of like omelets as such.
Yeah, well, fair enough. Full English is low carb. It's not because the beans are going to have a lot of carb in the toast. But let's go. And the sausages.
Well, depending on the sausages.
Yeah, but no, any sausage will have carbs because any sausage without carbs is a shit sausage, like a sort of sausage you'll get in France or Germany or something, just
There
full of
are
gristle.
actually, yeah, but you can have very low carb sausages.
Are they smooth? Do you know what I mean? You need
No,
that
no,
rusty
no. Yeah,
smoothness.
they are. I bought some. Hang on.
Hey Neil, I tell you what, I love those noodles by the way. I'm making a lot of things with that. Do you know what I mean? The
Yeah,
glass
they
noodles, whatever they're
they're
called.
really good, and I found out how to work with them a bit better. If you stir fry them a bit before you use them as well, you can evaporate the water out and give them a more solid
Oh,
texture.
okay. Can I tell you my procedure now? This is my
Go
recipe
on,
right now.
go on.
You get the noodles, you rinse them out till all that fishy smells off them, right? And then
Yeah,
it's
because they
this.
smell bad. It's
They
like a
sm-
dead goldfish, don't they?
yeah, they smell like a dead. Well, what the fuck's that? Ugh. Did you? I just poked my shoulder and there's like this clavicle sticking out.
Yeah.
Scared me. Um, yeah. You wash off all the fishy smell and then you drain them on the sideboard while you're heating your skillet. And then you just spray in some veg oil on that or olive oil, whatever you like. And then you just chuck the noodles in that and just let them with the lid off to let that steam out. So while that's happening, I make a little hole in the middle and I pop in a kind of heaped teaspoonful of Korean chili paste. You know the one.
Mm.
And
Gochujang.
and I let that just start to melt. And while that's melting, I'll put some white pepper, has to be white pepper, and salt on the noodles themselves directly. And let that settle in. So once they're starting to look a little bit firmer, because you can tell they go a bit less translucent, I'll then put in the usual stir fry veg like the kind of onions, even though they're kind of a
Um,
bit carby, and the what do you call them? The edamame beans,
edamame
edamame
bean.
beans.
Uh,
No,
Andrew,
mm,
are you eating Korean gochujang, the fermented bean paste, the red one?
yes, I think so.
It's pure carbohydrate, mate.
Yeah, but it's just the tiniest amount. But I guess you got to be careful.
It's literally, I'm just reading the nutrition info on
What
it
would
here.
be a teaspoonful of it?
35 grams. It's literally a table. According to this, it's 100% of its value is carbohydrate.
That's interesting, isn't it? So you got to be
So
careful. You don't want to go nuts with it,
one
basically.
tablespoon
Yeah.
is between 14 and 20 grams of carbohydrate.
So you're almost hitting your daily limit there, really.
Yes.
So you got to be careful with it. Um, but yeah, that with the veg, the normal veggies, and yeah, just give that a stir at the end. I don't stir it while it's settling. You know what I mean? I just give it a stir
Mm.
at the end when the veg looks soft. But yeah, it's really quite satisfying that. Well, it's a shame that about the calories and the paste, but you could easily substitute that with anything, can't you?
Or get Korean red chili powder.
Well, or just Chinese chili oil. I mean, how much carbs can
Yeah.
be in Chinese chili oil? It's mainly just oil and whatever. This is the weird though. Do you know? Remember, I like that chicken chili oil stuff,
Yes.
but I can't get an idea of what's the ingredient because once I had one of those and it was full of chicken pieces, like crunchy chicken pieces, and I'm like, do they really render down chicken? Is that how they get the
It's
oil?
probably chicken. It's probably chicken skin.
Hmm. But you never get actual chicken in it. I think something went wrong in this.
Mm.
Oh, look, they're all unhappy now. Bollocks. They're all happy there. Some of these people. You're expected to manage sort of customer turnover in this bloody game now. We're actually making some proper money in it now. We're on the inflection point where you're actually making profit. What's your views on pastas and noodles being used in sweets?
Yeah. Yeah. Not my bag, baby.
But you're having a cannoli.
Yeah, it's a bit different, really.
Is it?
Yeah.
I liked. There's a dish you get in the Middle East, and I don't know what it's called, but you have it for breakfast, and it's kind of made out of an angel hair pasta. I think it's got a milky, rice puddingy base going on with there. And you know the glazed fruits, like the cherries and the little fruits that like you have the green cherries and the red cherries and the different color bits in it, and it's nice.
Hmm.
Oh, and actually, you have one of my favorite Lebanese dishes called kanafa, which is like cheese with again angel hair pasta on it, and the angel hair pasta is all like really fried and browned, and then the whole lot's covered in syrup, a light syrup. Oh my gosh, that's probably like it's like a cheesecake, isn't it? It's like a Middle Eastern cheesecake. Feeling hungry for it now.
Are you?
Well, anything sweet. Anything
Yeah.
sweet does me.
Hmm. Well,
Kanafa, another one, please, says Becky. I think that's today's joke. That's the joke of the day. Although we haven't had our Rudd Hole joke, Mr. Dalton. We're waiting for that.
Let's have a rod hole joke, is it?
Hmm.
Yeah, because it's got to be nearly bedtime soon.
Yeah, I'm getting tired. It's definitely nearly
Rod
bedtime.
hole jokes. Rod hole jokes.
We should actually make a big book of Rudd Hole jokes. I'd like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Vending machines. Cool.
What's the difference between Rod Hull's roof and Vanessa Feltz?
I don't know. What is the difference between Rod Hull's roof and Vanessa Feltz?
One's very large, covered in slippery green slime, and is difficult to get on top of, and the other is Rod Hull's roof.
Oh, that's the best joke ever. Oh, I can imagine that too. Nigel, it wasn't. It wasn't the pastry thing I was talking about, but I also like baklava. Or baklawa, as it's called in the Middle East. Or baklava,
Yes.
as it's called in Greece. All that stuff's good. It's all good, Nigel. It's all good. Give it to me in my mouth hole. I think the Turkish baklava can be a bit thick. I kind of like the thinner varieties, the more dainty. Indian sweets are interesting too. It's all kind of very ghee based, ground up pistachio type things.
Mm.
Just remind me of a thing. I have not finished watching The Sopranos.
Have you not?
Yeah, sometimes I get to like 90% of the way through an entire like show, all the seasons, and then I'll just kind of stop. I really loved House, for example. I was buying the House DVDs and watching them on DVDs, and then when it was the last season, I was like, no, don't know, stop watching it. Got a lot of Game of Thrones to catch up on. I've got a lot of Westworld to catch up on. Assuming they still make Westworld.
Yeah, they do.
Westworld, I thought was pretty good.
I've not watched it yet.
Really? Oh, it's good.
Yeah. I watched the film, of course. But
Of course. And what's the other one? Future World or whatever it's called. No.
yeah,
Was it Future World?
pretty sure it's Future World.
Yeah. Lee says skip season 2. I think that I have watched season 2. I think the problem with Westworld is season 1 is you're watching these things and they're all a bit sexy, aren't they? Lots of boobs, lots of bums, lots of abs for the ladies. And then season 2, nothing. Nothing. So I kind of think they definitely draw you in. They know they kind of draw you in, and then they're like, and then you stop watching. There was a lot of there was a Spartacus. Did you remember that one? Spartacus.
Oh yeah, blood and
Blood,
sand or something.
that had a load of shagging in it too. I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
You
a
like?
time to join in, isn't it?
Hello,
Oh,
Daniel. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, guys. Not bad. How you doing?
we're
We
doing
good.
good.
We're good. We're just talking about programs with boobs.
Ah, excellent. I've come to the right place then.
Are you a fan of any of the sexy shows?
It never got better than the anticipation of being a young teenager, praying that when you get the 10-second preview on television X if you
Yeah.
tuned in Sky TV, and you'd get to see after that 10-minute preview about 12 seconds of the real stuff before it would cut off.
Yeah.
Oh. What
I
about
was
the
thinking,
old, remember like Eurotrash? A little bit of gentle grot, because that's better than nothing.
oh,
I've always been
Eurotrash.
horrendous with timekeeping, so I always loved that show, but I always missed it.
And the
I,
word.
the weird.
The
I
word.
I remember though, about the time that Eurotrash would be on telly, I'd be like lying in my bed or on my bed just with the room spinning, being like totally pissed out my skull. 'Cause it was on quite late, wasn't it? It was like those were the days.
Absolutely. I'm scared for future generations when they want to watch porn or see some boobies or whatever else. Like, it's right there. Just open a browser. You've got it all, and the craziest fetishes right there. It's creating a world of some pretty messed up people. Um, and I mean, back in my day, I looked after that one picture of the page free girl, like so much, because that's all you had. Like, you didn't have anything better
Wow.
than that.
Let me tell you my porn story growing up. This is quite a good one.
Every guy's got a porn story.
Yes. I grew, of course, during the era pre-internet for pornography, and I once found a stash under a bush in the park.
That was the rite of
As
passage, surely.
that was the rite of passage, right? So I had this lovely little stash of about 20 magazines that I had hidden in my room in our house. Well, when I was 16, yeah, Lee Conter's roadside porn. That's right. When I was 16, we were moving. We were moving from Lincoln to Wales, so opposite side of the country. And my mum was going to be packing boxes, getting my room packed up. I had nowhere to get rid of my porn, so I did the only thing that was right, like Arthur returning Excalibur to the lake. I took the porn and placed it back under the bush for another
Yes.
person to find.
If you love something, Andrew, set it free.
Yes.
But do you ever have this? This is interesting. Did you ever like remember like some particular bit of porn that you quite liked, and you kind of wonder in your adult years, like, oh, I wonder if I could find this. Do you know what I mean? There might have been a mag or a vid.
Girl, I can't even remember her name, but there was a girl that was insanely good at head. I can't remember her name, but that's all she did in all her videos. This is I'm talking about my early download on Kazaa days, but
Right.
uh,
Formative years porn. This was.
yeah. I don't know. I'm fucking never gonna find this person.
But Daniel, it
I'm
might
not
be the
good.
case though, as just to follow on what you were saying earlier, is that maybe humanity's doomed.
Yeah,
Because
it
people
may
be
be,
trying
isn't
to
it?
have kids, and they're trying, nobody's been able to have kids, and we're doing it up the arse like every single night, like we see in the movies, and it's just not happening.
Yeah, there you
It's a
go.
different era. Just think, YouTube got young male kids,
Yeah,
and they're growing from a different era to us now. They will never know how you had to work for your porn.
the challenges we'd faced.
And let's be honest, right? Let's be honest. As dads, you two, if say when your kids got to be sort of 14 or whatever, you found they
I
had
don't
porn.
I don't know where this conversation's going. I'm gonna have to admit something I don't want to admit.
Okay. What I'm going to say is, say your kids were like 14 or whatever, and you found they'd got some adult content. Could you discipline them over it, or would you feel incredibly hypocritical?
I think I'd be too embarrassed.
proud.
I mean, I didn't get told off. Like, you know, if someone found like a magazine or something like that, I didn't get told off. It was just more like disappointed. You know, that I got that tone. So I suppose do that, but I don't know. It's shaming that sort of stuff.
I think I've got an honest answer actually. Thinking about it, Andrew, I think, to be honest with you, I don't think I would be too bothered about it, because I think you know, as you get a bit older, you sort of be more mature, you know, and we're talking about maybe another 4 years, and I'll be mid 40s by then. I think it's like you don't get annoyed when you see your dog licking its nuts or something, right? It's just like that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna get hold of this and they're gonna do that. I'd probably just be like, you know, I'll just ignore it. I think, make sure it's like, you know. I mean, when you're saying something inappropriate, are we not talking about something weird?
I'm not saying anything weird. I'm just saying literally like, you know, a copy of Escort or whatever.
And I'd be, yeah, well, I wouldn't even do anything. It's just like, fuck, if anything, I'd probably buy them and leave them somewhere. I'd rather them have like something quality of and not been pre-handled by some fucking tug-hungry tramp.
So I found who I'm talking about. Her name was Heather Harmon.
Heather Harmon.
And oh, is there someone else in here? Have we got it?
Oh, just
Me.
yeah.
Breathing heavily in the background. I'm
Just
liking
all
this
the talk of
conversation.
porn, I can't stop the heavy breathing.
The asthma's
Heather
kicking
Harmon,
in.
Harmon. Heather Harmon. And I remember when I first found the internet, discovered we're talking dial-up days, on my AOL. Yeah, I was quite into. Is it her actually?
Oh, it could be.
The Legend of Heather Harmon.
Legend. That sounds like a really good game.
Yeah,
The Legend of Heather. Dun,
Heather
dun.
Harmon, adult actress.
She looks completely different now than she used to.
Right.
Yeah. Is there like a general chat thing I can send a picture of her face up on?
Yeah,
Yeah,
put it in the
just
put it in the patron. Oh, hang on. Are you in? Let me add you.
Or put it in Men's Health or something. I don't know.
Whatever.
Yeah, or put it. Yeah, you've got access to the patron room anyway as well now.
It's quite amusing. I've googled her, and the first site that's come up is Boobopedia, Encyclopedia of Big Boobs.
I need to be researching a bit more.
That's basically the same defense as every kind of pedo or whatever has ever had. I was looking at it for research. It's like, but you're like a musician. Why are you researching? You've decided you're going to become writing a philosophical treatise on paedophilia through the ages, are you? The worst defense ever.
Mentioning no names, Pete Townsend.
I'll just send it to you, Andy. You can put it in the right room. I don't know what room it's just.
Let's have a look, mate.
Just anywhere. Spaff it anywhere. Men's health. Yeah, we've got the men's health. I like that actually. The men's health one sounds. Actually, I didn't realise we could use it for seedy purposes.
There we go.
Right there.
Let's have a look. See. Oh right. And is that the pose? That's a particularly.
Oh, she was also known as Heather Brooke.
Heather Brooke is the girl I remember her name as. That was it.
There we go.
Hello.
Oh hello. It's getting a bit PG. Bit PG. Fucking hell. Where are we? France.
This is the sort of stuff that can kill a YouTube career. I should probably quieten down.
Yeah, but it's not really posted by you. The particular stuff.
Yeah.
It's the sort of thing that kills a YouTube career if you do it on YouTube. But what about those YouTube? Tell me, Daniel, you watch a lot of you do a lot of research on these sorts of subjects. Does it harm a YouTube or Twitch channel when they're caught having a wank?
Yeah, I think it does. Well, it can do. I reckon. I've always thought this. There must be a way. If you do the marketing just right and you plan it just right, you can have a wank online and obviously have a good time because you're having a wank. But then also actually do it just right so that you actually get a bit more popular because of it.
This sounds like
Well-
something you're planning.
Don't forget
I
there
don't want
was
to give away my big plan yet. Or
But yeah,
average.
don't forget how that Andrew Dalton has somehow encouraged me, and probably you, to install a friggin' Discord integration that at a random time will connect your fucking mic. The random time being when I want to have a look at some porn. How do we stop that, Andrew?
just turn the plugin off, don't you? Use another machine in a separate browser.
In a separate room.
Yes. Exactly.
Exactly. That's your
But-
advice.
That's my advice. But
I think you did that on
don't forget-
purpose.
Don't forget, there was that that girl Twitch streamer who supposedly got caught having a bit of a finger blast after a live stream.
And what happened to her? Nothing.
They suspended her from Twitch.
For a bit. Was it for forever? They normally just do it for like
I'm
you
just-
got a day.
No, she got banned.
Banned. Ooh. Don't play the devil's billiards.
Oh, no, that was a bloke. That was a bloke. He got banned for having a wank on Twitch. Let's have a look.
Let's have a look.
Just looking at all the stories. Of
Yes,
people...
dear, it's research. I don't know why it's Hyacinth Bouquet, but you know, looking at Pat Butcher.
There's a very interesting website here called Live Stream Fails, and it details all problems of people have had doing live streams on Twitch. It's got like a girl gamer being pooed on by a duck.
Well, why would you wouldn't really get banned though for that? That was just
No, this girl was
Naked.
no, she was fiddling with her.
naked getting pooed on by a duck. It's a really specific fetish.
No, she's fiddling with her lady garden while taking donations.
That's how she's getting the donations. Neil's right though. I think it should be zero tolerance. Now, if you're on Chatcherbait, what happens if you start playing some video games? Are they like, ban? What are you doing? Breath of the Wild, ban.
That's Nintendo coming after you, isn't it?
I'm almost thinking there's an opportunity here to come up with pornographic video game titles, can't you? I'm trying to think of some. Tricky though. Something shit like the Bell End of Zelda. No, that doesn't work.
Streamer visits the Dildo Museum.
There are ones already, aren't there? Like Womb Raider.
That sounds like the title of a movie, doesn't it? Definitely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking at my game shelf.
For inspiration, I've got a digital library. It doesn't help. XCOM Legend.
Oh, I'm so bad at this. Fuck it, Felix. I'm pushing into Disney now. Say hello, Daniel.
Oh, don't go near the Disney, Dan.
You're ruining it. You're ruining Disney.
I've found a website with a whole list of them.
Ah, fantastic.
Yeah.
I was actually only popping in to say hey, and then I was going to go off. But if I leave now, then I think this question will raise and why I've quickly left. Like, I've told you to leave me alone. I'm tidying my room.
Yeah, that's true. It does sound like
Yeah.
you're going off to do your research.
Yes.
I genuinely am researching the last segment I need for this weekend's video, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be a long one. Let's quickly pop on YouTube. Back to the show's streaming. Don't click it, Daniel. You'll get stuck in there.
You're stuck in there talking
We're
about
a restaurant in America again.
That was funny.
just so that everybody in the stream is aware, I will not be talking about poo or arseholes or anything like that, because of course that was already happened earlier in the Discord channel, and by contract I'm only allowed to discuss that topic once per day.
Dear me.
Daniel, just before you go though, quick question:
That's all right. Go on. Go ahead.
did you ever watch the Stargate TV show?
No.
Oh, that's
I'm
weird.
not a big sci-fi nerd, if I'm honest. I'm not the biggest fan of Star Wars. I only really liked Star Trek when it came to those new movies. I mean, I respect Star Wars. Obviously, Luke Picard, what's his name? Fucking X-Men. Like, see, this is how bad I am.
Star Wars and X-Men bloke. That's Star Trek, mate.
That's what I meant. Star Trek. See what I mean? Yeah. I wish when I watch things, I wish I was more excited about Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm hardcore Disney, and everyone's getting excited about that new mandolin or whatever it's called.
The Mandalorian.
Mandalorian. I wish I was excited. Like when everyone got excited, like when a new Zelda game comes out and everyone like loses their shit, and I'm like, yeah, there you go. It looks alright. You know, I mean, I wish I was more excited about Star Wars. I really do.
Yeah.
You know what I feel though about Daniel? I feel that I was at home, maybe like Andrew Dalton, definitely watching Star Trek and just nerding out, watching Beavis and Butthead and sitting there playing
Don't be
Atari.
hang on. Watch your Beavis and Butthead talk. Now that is
No,
Dan's.
wait, oh right. And
Yeah,
Dan was actually someone who went out and had friends and knew how to interact with people, and that's how he's getting ahead in life now. He's doing his DJing stuff. He can talk. He's not shy. He doesn't freak out, hyperventilate when he gets on a bus. It's good.
There you go. Yeah. The DJing helped.
Yeah.
The DJing helped.
You know, doing weddings, playing the Birdie song.
Fucking hell. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. I remember once, I was really getting into like my metal. I obviously had Slipknot's first album, you know, and I remember I called the bride and groom onto the dance floor, and I was playing whatever the fuck they wanted me to play. I can't remember what it was, you know, like Two Become One, Spice Girls, whatever.
Oh yeah.
And I'm playing it, and what I'd always do is I'd do this thing where I'm like nodding to the beat, like just smiling.
Yeah.
But you got your headphones on, and I'd have one ear on, and I'd be listening to like, I don't know, most of the time it was chilled, but I was really fancying Slipknot one night, and I pressed play, and the crossfader wasn't all the way to the left, so they heard a little bit of in the middle of their fucking dance. I quickly flicked it over, so I only got like 1 second, but it was. I think I got away with it because it sounded like the mic had dropped or something. Where it just sounded like a noise very quickly. But
Right.
that's something that happened. I literally almost ruined someone's first dance while playing Slipknot.
Did you? You must have seen some excruciating weddings, though.
Oh yeah.
Most of them,
yeah.
surely.
I mean, the things with weddings, I've got so I don't like DJs that just have a playlist, but you know, like you go to a party and they've just got a playlist, they're almost not doing anything. You know, might as well have their phone out, and they do a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, I'm talking about wedding DJing-esque and that stuff, but at the same time, back then, I was really fucking. I technically did the same thing, but just manually, I knew what song to play next every single time, and it was always the fucking same. You know, ugh, gone are those days.
Worst thing I ever saw. I went to a wedding of a guy I know. Last dance of the night. Him and his wife, the band, were playing "Never Forget" by Take That. 30 seconds into the song, they started doing this. They broke their dance apart and started doing this semi-choreographed dance, and then ran around high-fiving everyone.
High-fiving's part of the dance.
They literally did this little dance thing that obviously rehearsed for a few steps, and then ran around high-fiving all the guests who were stood around in a circle watching them.
In their eyes, it was their way of getting everyone involved.
And it was awesome. And I was, you know, literally like you see people biting their fist because they're so embarrassed with what's going on. I was like, oh, you know.
No, this can't be happening.
No, it was bad. Oh, yes. cringe, as Neil says. Little jab. There we go, everybody.
So McBeam says he's saving all of his pennies for all my ST PCBs. Well, I think, barring one design which I've got to make, they're all on the store now. Just the VGA one to come now.
Are you selling ST PCBs on your store?
Not even not Atari ST PCBs, but actual new products to add to your Atari ST.
And your used pants as well.
And my used pants. Daniel, I'm sure, is not even aware of it, but I've been making new hardware for Atari STs, and I'm getting into the making modern hardware for retro things.
Well, that's something for you in the next year, Dan, isn't it? To give you need your you need your 16-bit era computer sort of training.
Yeah.
Sort of Amiga and STs and that kind of thing.
I mean, I know enough about them, but I mean, yeah, I suppose so. Yeah.
Are you breaking into that genre now?
No, not
All the
particularly.
consoles
I mean,
are done.
Well, Kim's just done top 100 Mega Drive games. Oh, that's me dumb now then.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, everything. I love the Amiga, the Atari ST. Sorry, that's fucking awesome.
It is. I think it's really good. I think there's a lot of it gets a lot of
crossover
flack.
Anyway, the sort of thing that I like anyway with the 16-bit consoles. So.
Just on the subject, Kim, what's going? I saw a tweet from Kim saying the channel is in danger.
I'm not going to say. I do know what's wrong, but I don't. I'm not going to say because I don't know if she wants it public or whatever else.
Oh, sorry. I thought
I
thought it was a public thing. Something about copyright.
It might be. It very much might be.
Yeah.
But I honestly don't know. I've been a little bit.
Let's talk in general terms though. Is it basically on any YouTube channel you have this copyright strike or any kind of strike? I think you can get, and if you get 3, is it you 3?
Yes.
Does it just block your channel for a month or something?
Channel shuts down.
No, you're gone.
You're gone. So you can't ever come back. It's like all your subs, everything. You'd have to start again, basically.
No, they won't even let you start a new channel. They say. I mean, I don't know how they'd enforce that, but it says, according to YouTube's terms, you are not permitted to start another channel.
I have heard of people trying to start another channel that's been found out and they're gone.
Whoa, that's fucking hell. That's like excommunicated.
But you
That's
get
why
a
there was
strike.
all of the scammy people out there that do the whole I've given you 2 strikes from 2 random big accounts. If you don't pay me, blah 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 blah, I'm gonna give you a.
That was that
right
Legal video, wasn't it? It was explaining that.
Wow.
You watch Legal, don't you, Andrew?
I don't know which one that is, but
The American lawyer who does the YouTube videos explaining stuff.
But yeah, he does like movies and stuff as well.
Yes.
Yeah. I do watch him. Yeah.
Yeah, you ought to watch. He's done one basically about this infamous YouTube scanner, and it's that bad now that YouTube themselves are actually setting their lawyers on him.
Really?
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
And I wouldn't fuck with YouTube's lawyers.
They got fuck you money to play with.
Oh yeah, they
have, but it's still crazy that YouTube doesn't earn. It still loses. I mean, I'm sure it does. I know that was the case a few years ago.
Yeah.
It doesn't earn money, but I'm true that is.
Hard disk space isn't cheap though, is it? I mean, it is.
And bandwidth.
I'm sure it's a little bit cheaper if you Google, but
Yeah, and bandwidth. But it's interesting actually. I don't know if you know. Amazon have something called Amazon Web Services, AWS, which is where they make most of their money. Probably eclipses Amazon product sales like by a billion times. Google has their own version, Google Cloud Services, and Google over the last, I don't know, probably decade, before they really made the cloud services quite public, have been building everything. All Gmail, YouTube, everything is built on their own infrastructure.
Yeah, but so is Azure and Office 365. Xbox Live lives in Azure.
Yeah, but it's all a bit Mickey Mouse, that stuff. I mean, we're talking about everything that Google does. We're talking about every single thing that Google does. But where I'm going with this is that although YouTube doesn't make their money necessarily, it's set up the technology that once they get into the cloud business proper, they're set to make billions and billions and billions.
this is music to my ears. It really is, because I worked at a company and they they're so. Before I did YouTube full time, and whilst doing YouTube, they pushed Microsoft and Azure and all these things. It's so crazy hearing Andrew say all that stuff because it was just said to me every fucking day.
Yeah.
And they hated anything Google, but I only ever used Google, and I used to get really stressed, and I couldn't get people to share like one document.
And they're like, we use Excel, fuck you.
Yeah, it was just all. I tried to do this thing where we all shared one document and we was all in there at the same time, but there were so many permissions involved, and I was like, oh fuck this, and I just ran over to Google Sheets, copied it into Google, and then just sent them a link, and everyone was in, and it was just done. And then I got this massive lecture about like how unsafe that is compared to how incredible Microsoft are. And I remember used to sit in on fucking presentations that we'd give, and you always hear the story about the person that opened a Gmail that just lost their job via email, and it was all sad, and then there was an advert at the top, offering another job, and I'm like, yeah, but you got to understand, no one's reading. There's not someone sitting in a Google office like jacking one off in a corner somewhere reading all your personal emails. It's picking up on fucking things that are said in there and giving advertisements based on that. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's the worst part of their algorithm. It's not some dodgy,
reading 25 billion emails a day.
Ooh, yes. This guy's getting emails from fucking Amazon.
I quite like that though. I kind of imagine that, Andrew, that'd be a job you'd like, wouldn't you? You'd like that snooping around.
Cheeky fucker. I'm a Microsoft consultant, but I'm aware of the market shares.
You're just doing it in Azure.
Sorry? We do it in 365. I will say though that it's getting too techy anyway. I'll not go into it because the market share for Office 365 is outdoing G Suite. G Suite is shrinking quite rapidly. So there we go.
There is no shadow of a doubt Word has more features than
They've been doing it for fucking 30 years. You ought to, but
try nearly 40 years.
40 years. And why does Word still have the same stupid bollocks in it? That's the annoying thing, where my picture will fuck off somewhere and I don't know where it's gone. Do you know what I mean? Have you seen that? You're like moving it around and it just jumps off.
Not sussed out fucking layers yet.
And you print, and when you print, it'll print out this document, and in the corner you can see this little pixel, and you go, "There's my fucking picture hiding in the corner in the margin."
You maybe need training, Andrew.
This man needs to know how to learn how to do word wrapping.
It's all right now. I don't write my own documents anymore.
No, it is what it is. But I don't know. But oh dear, no. But it's good anyway. Google serves a purpose. YouTube's here to stay.
I wrote an application today, believe it or not, in Amazon Cloud, and it didn't even use a server, believe it or not. There's no computer that was running a program. It was all distributed across their infrastructure, and that's how weird it gets.
It's pretty mental, but
I don't know. I'm looking at my massive two big ultra wide screens. I'm looking at the right, and I can see Andrew playing some hotel game. I look next to that, I can see my half-written script, which I still haven't done. I've spent too long on this call. And then far on the left, I see loads of porn Heather Brooks stuff stood up, and I'm like, this is a weird going on.
Daniel, what are you doing?
I'm just talking to some guys online. No.
And researching.
Just downloading a bit of the old porn.
Oh,
I've got to say, I am sad at how Heather Brooks looks now.
What, how she looks now? Is that the one?
Unless that's a different Heather Brooks.
Did you hear about that famous porn star that they found who went off the radar, and now they found her living in underground community in San Francisco, homeless?
No.
Doesn't seem surprising, does it?
What the hell's the noise?
Someone's doing some washing up. What's happening, by the way, with Spider-Man? Are they continuing to make Spider-Man movies? Is it part of the
Yeah.
MCU?
I'll tell you what's going on. Basically, it's all gone public for one reason: to get them to fucking hurry up. Disney will still continue, eventually get the rights again to,
Yeah.
the joint split rights to be able to make movies with Sony using that Spider-Man name. Using Spider-Man because Sony owned Spider-Man and X-Men and a few other things. They couldn't reach an agreement straight away. It's gone public for the reason to make both of them clench their bums a little bit tighter and go, oh shit, we need to get this done. I'm almost certain that's the only reason it's happening.
Oh, I'm sure it's that as well. Because to be honest, Sony have had the Spider-Man toys for so long on their own. They know they can't do anything good without dipping into the incredible world that Marvel have created.
Hmm.
Yeah,
because
that's a franchise I get excited about.
Oh yeah, I mean, don't you? You didn't think that much of Avengers Endgame, did you, Andrew?
Who, me?
Yeah, you said you didn't. You thought
No,
it was
I liked
okay.
it. No, I liked it.
I was just chatting to someone just before I come on this call, and I was just saying about how I've got to an age where, I mean, I used to watch. I mean, yeah, Sucker Punch is full of sexy ass ladies, but I used to watch Sucker Punch besides the sexy ass ladies because it just looks so good as a fight
Sucker
scene.
Punch is
It's a
great. It is
fucking-
great.
It's just good to watch, even though it's absolutely bare bones shit as a story. But it's basically an hour and a half long, beautiful looking film.
Could be a music video.
Yeah, essentially, and they did. There was a million fucking FMV or AMVs, whatever you want to call it, of that. You know, over fucking Kitty songs and System of a Down songs and whatever else, Pendulum songs. You know, and but then if you watch like Batman versus Superman, I remember watching that, and I was just the Superman movie, Man of Steel.
Yeah,
I remember watching that, and by the end, I was just like, this fight scene is going on too long. I mean, it looks fucking brilliant, but I'm like, I'm bored, I think, of the fight scene. But Avengers Endgame was longer, and
yes,
fuck me, that was good.
Be honest, Avengers Endgame, I'm not ashamed to say there were moments in it where I was sort of the midnight screening when it opened here, and I tell you what, the atmosphere, the buzz, and there's so many bits happening in it, the emotion of the communal audience. There's so many bits of that film. Like the bit where my favourite scene in that film is the one where Captain America is stood on his own, and then the heroes
Spoiler
return.
alert.
Oh no, it's we're past the spoiler period of it now.
I'm just shouting it out in case.
Yeah.
But that scene where the heroes return is just fucking amazing.
Yeah. Again, spoiler alert for anyone. Literally, you don't want to hear this bit if you haven't seen it. But when I saw, I'm going to say it again, spoiler alert. But when I saw Captain America hold the fucking Thor's hammer,
yeah,
I felt like I was 10 years old, just like, fuck me, this is cool.
But do you remember that scene in the earlier movie where he goes to pick it up and it moves just a tiny bit, but not enough that anyone's sure? And I remember like Thor's like looking, going, "Did that move? Didn't it?"
But you know what I liked about it is the thing is, it could have been. They almost done that thing, you know, like how, you know, like the new Lion King or Aladdin or whatever it may be. You know, like everyone is so, oh my god, waiting for what that film was possibly going to be, and it was always going to be below expectations. I always find that weird when you watch like Disney remakes. You're about to watch a film that you know is going to be good. You're going to have a good time watching it, but you know for a fact it's not going to be as good as the film it's trying to copy. And with the Avengers movies, that was 23 movies. People were waiting to get to that one.
Yeah.
And it could have had the same problem. Like the hype was so enormous.
Yeah.
It could have got to a point where it wouldn't meet people's expectations.
But it blew people's expectations away, in my opinion.
Somehow. I don't know how they did it, but it did. And I was just like, fucking gobsmacked that they were able to do that.
Yeah.
And I don't think, definitely not in my lifetime, I don't think that will ever happen again.
No.
A series is 24 films long, and then on the 24th or 23rd, whatever it is, when it gets to that point, it's the biggest selling film of all time.
It was just an incredible film. It's long, but I can watch it over and over because there's just so much good stuff in it. It's got the right mix of humor, of drama. It's just, everything is just so well done in it. And I don't know how you could have improved that film because everything is It's just got the right mix. Even when it's sad, they
Yeah.
put just enough humour into it.
Yeah. Exactly. I tell you what, I thought they took some stupidly big risks. Like it still blows my mind that there isn't a Hulk movie. I mean, like obviously the first one, the very first film was a Hulk movie, but
Yeah.
Fall over on the first fucking hurdle. Talk about that, it's mental. But they still haven't done a Hulk movie. Everyone
They can't.
Why?
Universal own the rights to the Incredible Hulk in a solo movie.
Oh, okay. Well, basically, yeah. So everyone loves the Hulk, and then in the new Avengers, I was like, because they teased him in the last one, he didn't even fight in part one.
Yeah.
Really, he was like a nervous guy that couldn't become the Hulk hardly at all.
Yeah, but that's what made it funny, where they did like the whole come on, just give me time, I've got to get going. They did that kind of whole porn star thing with him, and made it really funny.
And in this film, they made him, again, spoiler alert, but in this film they made him like really nerdy, and like you can talk to him, and it was like, this is a bit of a strange move, but it completely worked. And it's the same with what they did with Thor. Like that was a fucking risky move.
Oh, when they made him fat and like just eating all the time, and basically he'd given up.
Yeah, do the whole Ratchet and Clank nuts and bolts thing. Sorry, Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts. But like, it's just so bizarre. Like, how did they get away with doing that? And it worked.
Yeah,
really risky.
The whole film just works. It is just so well done. The characters. It's because they did the groundwork of people going into the film. It's just nothing short of one of the most incredible films you'll ever see, and I can just watch it infinitely.
Yeah, it's great.
Do you like how they kind of close the loop though on Iron Man's character with that ending?
Yeah, but there was some really nice stuff in there. When
I haven't seen Far From Home yet.
Okay, but there's some that is the proper end chapter of it. But there's some nice callbacks to the first Iron Man film. And when Happy's talking to Iron Man's daughter, he's saying to her after the funeral, he's going, "And what do you want to eat?" And she goes, "I'd like a cheeseburger." And that is exactly what Iron Man said in the first film when he got out of captivity. He wanted a cheeseburger. There's all these lovely little bits in there. The script is so nice.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. Yeah.
One of my favourite bits in it as well is in the funeral scene at the end. You see all the characters from the films. There's this one like kid on his own stood there.
Yeah.
That is the kid from Iron Man 3 who helped him. They brought him back just to stand there in that one scene.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's just got lovely callbacks to the other films.
I forgot that he, in the first movie, revealed himself to be Iron Man as well to the public.
His last line in the first film was, "I'm Iron Man."
That's it.
Which was his last line in the film.
I might have to watch the that sort of Civil War one again.
Civil War was fucking awesome.
Because I kind of can't remember it at all now, so it's like time to watch it again.
Yeah, I bought it on Blu-ray, but I've only watched it one time at the cinema. I like buying Blu-ray and not watching it.
Civil War is great. Winter Soldier is great.
Winter Soldier took me two watches before I really. Yeah.
I loved Winter Soldier the second I got there. Again, it had the humour right in it. One of my favourite, and again, there's a nice callback to Winter Soldier in Endgame, because if you remember at the beginning of Winter Soldier, when he first meets Falcon, he's running around the lake, and he keeps saying to him, Sam, he keeps saying, "On your left," as he runs past him.
Oh yes, I remember that. Yeah.
Well, when the heroes come back in Endgame, Sam says, "Cap, on your left."
Oh really?
Yeah, it is all.
I tell you what though, 3 movies a year, because that's normally what they do for the MCU. 3 movies a year. I can just about keep up with that.
Yeah,
and I have done. Besides Captain Marvel, annoyingly, but I can just about keep up with that. But now it's going to be really hard to keep up because you've got all of the Disney Plus stuff coming as well.
Well, it depends when we get access to it.
But if we don't get access to launch, that would be so stupid.
Well, we're gonna struggle if they don't give us access to it. We're gonna struggle to keep up with the Marvel films.
Oh, majorly. Oh my god, yes. I mean, but you've got Loki, the What If ones. You've got One Division, isn't it? You got that as well. The Winter Soldier and
the Falcon.
Falcon, that's it. Yeah, he's got one as well. And I'm like, if I've got to watch all of those, which I don't think you have, but you will have to. But at the same time, that's going to be a fucking big ask. And I think that might be too much.
Well, see, it depends how quick it's coming. I mean, if they're provided they're not all coming at once and it's like one episode of each one a week or dropped whatever, it might be manageable. You know, so if it's or 1 or 2 episodes a week, you probably catch up. You'll probably be all right with it. If they drop like all of them at one go, then it would be. But I don't know. I think Disney Plus is going to be really exciting myself. I think the potential for it is going to be incredible.
So is it going to ruin Netflix?
I think there's a lot of people who are saying they are going to be tempted to ditch Netflix for Disney Plus.
I reckon I'll have both.
I'll have both. I know I will. But one fact is that because Disney, you got to remember Disney bought Fox, they now own the whole Fox back catalogue, which is an enormous number of film and TV franchises. So they own The Simpsons, for example. Well, they said all The Simpsons will be on Disney Plus. I think Family Guy probably will as well because they own that now. Disney own so much stuff now. They own all the, from the movie side. They own, if you look at Fox Pictures, you're talking they own the Alien franchise, they own the Predator franchise, they own so many, because Fox are one of the biggest, longest standing movie studios. They own just so much content.
Yeah, aren't they? Disney are either going to own 40 or 60% of the entire box office.
Yeah.
Now they own Fox. I can't remember if it was 40 or 60. Yeah. Which is a bit ridiculous. But I do think on the other side of things, I hope that all this does is just make more outside studios arise, which I think that it has the opportunity to.
Yeah, I agree with you. I just think they've got so much stuff. They've got so much good content now. They've reunited the whole of the Marvel. This is again going to be one of the reasons why Spider-Man, Sony are going to have to play ball with Spider-Man, because Disney now own all the Marvel characters again, except Spider-Man. Because they've got the X-Men back, they've got the Fantastic Four back, they've got,
So just give us fucking Spider-Man. Come on, Sony, just dig in your Disney, just dig in your pockets, just buy Spider-Man. Job done.
What?
But I mean,
What do you feel about the Fantastic Four movies? They've always been a bit wank, haven't they?
I didn't watch the third one, as in the remake one.
It was excruciating. I turned it off. I couldn't watch it.
I remember the first two. That was back when superhero movies were a bit like just fun, almost fun. I suppose they're still family friendly, but I mean, they were just like
they weren't serious. They didn't take themselves seriously.
You could they'd be in the same fucking aisle as Honey, I Shrunk the Kids or something,
Yeah.
For that, they're gold. They're fine. Nothing wrong with them. But for long-standing films, obviously the new MCU ones just own it.
Oh yeah, they're on another level. But I mean, I think because they've said one of the new MCU films will be a Fantastic Four film.
Right.
They are going to do an MCU Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
I think that will be great if they do it and they do it right. And I hope that they know enough about the characters and they have enough of the problem is, and this is the problem that Spider-Man will have if they keep him in isolation, there needs to be callbacks and links somewhere to other parts of the established universe, because it's what happens in the comics. In the comics, they don't think twice about having a crossover or a cameo from a character. Anything like that, they don't think twice about it. But Disney and the MCU now have the ability to do that in any of their films. Spider-Man would not have that ability, but I think Fantastic Four, particularly because they have a lot of meeting with other characters in their stories, I think Disney will be able to really make that work.
You just reminded me of something. How good was that new Spider-Man, animated Spider-Man movie?
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
What's it called?
Into the Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
I mean, some
That
of the
was
characters in
awesome.
it I thought were a bit, oh, they're almost too weird, but it works, doesn't it? It just works.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
Yeah.
And
But
I'll tell you what, I think that gave Disney a kick up the arse as well, because Disney always walked home with the big awards. Because, and when I say Disney, I mean Pixar as well.
yeah.
But everyone thinks that, even the hardcore Disney fans like myself, that they went far too hardcore with their fucking their sequels. I wish Toy Story 4 didn't exist. But all of these Cars 3, Cars 2, Monsters Inc. 2, it's just like they wouldn't stop. And for the most part, they're good. But you much prefer like the original movies, original stories.
I didn't like Toy Story 4.
It was so, I don't know, like 3 just perfectly ended it.
Yeah.
And the ending for 4 was brave, but I felt like they had to do something. Like,
they had to do something, but the core of Toy Story has always been Woody and Buzz.
yeah,
And Toy Story
and
4.
Woody's like almost like preachy annoying, where he's just like, you've got to be a good, stick with your kid and all that. And then what they did at the end, it's just like,
And Buzz is barely in Toy Story 4. To be honest.
I don't like how stupid they make him.
No.
Because he does that thing, doesn't he? Again, spoiler alert, but he does that thing where he has to keep pushing his buttons to say things, and then that's like his inner voice, and like it's like, you're not that stupid to just.
And he's never done that before.
Yeah.
It was very strange. I don't know.
Even the shorts for Toy Story, they're like buddy movies. They're like funny because it's all like the bouncing off each other. It's like when you watch like The Office or something like that. Like, all of the characters are good because Kelly or whatever's only in it for a tiny little bit, and she'll just bounce off someone else and bounce off someone else. And it's the same with Mr. Potato Head's a bit of an arsehole, Slinky Dog's like really like just a massive suck up to Woody, and they all play off really nicely to each other. But they're hardly in it. It's almost entirely Tom Hanks's movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just, it was a fine movie, but it was just it was above average for me. And the fact that they took Toy Story 3, which was possibly the best, which is insane to think that.
Yeah.
And then ended it with a movie that was above average. I was like, no, that is
yeah. It wasn't a bad movie, but it wasn't the level of the others.
No.
Exactly.
One was but one was the best. That's not my favorite of the 3. 2 was just a great, funny film. It was just a funny movie. It wasn't really much to it. It was just a good, funny movie. 3 was the perfect fucking wrapper. And then 4 was just like this fucking, I don't know, like the cyst on the fucking side of it.
Yeah, it was a bit. But mind you, Disney do own The Greatest Showman now.
I've not seen that. Is it any good?
Yeah, it's a great movie.
It is. It really is, actually.
I know hardcore fucking guys that just like, I don't like fucking singing, but they all like that film. I've not met anyone that don't like.
Some of the choreography in it is just amazing, isn't it? Some of the numbers they do in it.
Fucking good. Really.
It is such a fun, nice film. The music's good. It's really it fits in as a Disney film, to be honest. I think.
I heard there's a really good genre, by the way, that I don't know if we've experienced. I think it's Korean horror movies.
Ah, right. It's a very good Korean horror film called Train to Busan. I've not seen it, but I've heard wonderful things about it.
So you can recommend a few titles when you've seen some.
The Train to Busan. It's basically about a zombie. A train while a zombie apocalypse happens, but apparently it's absolutely brilliant.
If you could, Daniel, if you were going to be in a zombie apocalypse, what kind of zombies would you like? Would you like slow Walking Dead style zombies, or the faster not
What,
quite dead zombies.
the Olympic sprinters of
Well, if I'm going
Of
for something that I
zombie. Was
think
it called Zombie Town or whatever the hell it was called? Do you remember that
I know,
movie?
Zombieland.
Zombieland.
that was a good. They're making a sequel, aren't they?
Yeah, it's out really soon. It looks really fun.
There you go.
To do your cardio.
Yeah, you mean the Olympic sprinting zombies of 28 days later?
Oh yeah, they were really like. Because the zombies of you got two kinds of zombies, don't you? The ones which were dead and the ones which were never dead, don't you?
Yeah, the ones in 28 days later are just virus infected, aren't they?
Yeah, virus infected. Got to know your zombies. What are the Resident Evil ones? Dead. No, oh, no, they're
No,
virus.
They got the virus. They got the virus.
Oh, we must be due another Resident Evil soon. There hasn't been one out like this month. Should be just a series.
I don't like films by Paul W.S. Anderson
Oh, really? Why is that then?
because they're shit.
Oh, okay.
He's a dreadful director and writer. He just casts his wife in stuff, but he's known just for being just. He's married to Mila Jovovich.
Yeah.
He just makes. Okay, to be fair, he did make a good film, which was the first Mortal Kombat.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh my god, what a film!
yeah.
I don't think I can even remember it.
That's not me looking up porn. Yeah, fuck me, that's a good film. Like, I tell you what, I remember watching that when I was a kid because I was well into Mortal Kombat. The first couple of games, I was like, well into them, and all their stories and all that sort of shit of each character. I mean, and I remember watching a pirate copy of Mortal Kombat on VHS that I got from some bloke down the market. And I remember watching it and just looking over at my mate, if my jaw drops and go, that was the best movie that they've ever made. I thought it was so good, and I'll always hold on to that. Like, it's cheese balls as fuck. But I think why don't they make cheese balls as fuck good movies like that anymore?
They make some. They do make some stuff.
I tell you what. Actually, Sony are going to make. They're actually opening their own movie studio for their own games. So Sony, I think it's like Sony Games.
No, I think it's called like PlayStation Films or something.
Yeah, so it's basically all of their own IP. So that they're going to look after them, and one of the first ones they're going to do is Twisted Metal. Which is good. I want a good, ridiculous horror story.
You know what I think it's
Go on.
time though for Daniel, for me personally, is to go back old school and watch all the Bruce Lee movies again.
Yeah, they don't take long to do. There's only a few of them.
But
Yeah, that's true.
But I thought they were. I remember them so distinctly in my childhood as something I used to watch, and then Jackie Chan, of course.
What I would say is, with your Bruce Lee films, they are good films, but has the choreography stood up, held the test of time?
Oh, really? You might just disappointed.
Yeah. Martial arts fighting has come on so much since the Matrix, basically.
Ah, okay. Oh, that sounds like
I tried to watch even like Enter the Dragon with my wife, and I was like really angry. And she's like, "What is this?" I'm like, "What?" But again, it's someone that's never watched those films before, and it's a different time. You know, I remember watching Big Boss when I was a kid, and fucking like, this is incredible. You know.
Yeah.
But it's cheeseballs as fuck.
It is, and you look at it, and does it hold up? I don't know.
I see Velociraptor saying they took the piss very well in the latest Tarantino film. I haven't watched it, but I've heard a lot of stuff.
I saw it.
I can't wait for that movie.
It's a lot of fun, and it's very different.
Yeah,
very different. It's a lot of fun, but I was discussing actually with Oliver Harper, and yeah, it's an interesting film. I'm not going to say much about it because it's a very difficult film to know what it is trying to say.
sure.
It's not a bad film, but I think it's one that's going to definitely. It's like most of his films where it's going to require multiple viewings and a lot of thought about what the film is trying to say and what it's the story of.
Right.
But it's not bad by any means. It's really well done, really well acted, really well written. But it's an interesting, really different film.
Sure. No, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
But
I think he does like he literally does my favorite movies.
Yeah.
I think it's so good.
if you want to see some cheeseball action, I'll tell you what you would like. I saw Hobbs and Shaw, the Jason Statham
Oh
rock
yeah.
Fast and Furious spin-off.
Yeah, sure.
The Fast and Furious films I find a bit grating, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, they're just great throwaway movies, aren't
Yeah, but I find them a bit irritating in parts. Some of the Vin Diesel family and the preachy
they?
speeches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I do know what you mean, actually.
yeah, but this one is better than the Fast and Furious films because it is very funny. They're really good chemistry between them. The Rock is just watchable in anything because he's just such like you. He's one of them blokes you think, yeah, I'd like to hang out with it.
Yeah, I tell you what, I do enjoy his movie. I really enjoy. That was good. Die Hard for the new generation, essentially. But like,
The one in the tower in China.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing I watched literally was it last night or two or three nights ago? I watched Jumanji.
Yeah.
His version. I watched it. I'm like, this is boring. Like I wasn't
Yeah,
enjoying.
it's boring, isn't
Yeah.
it?
I didn't enjoy Jumanji or much.
And they're making a sequel to it. The best part of it was Jack Black pretending to be a girl, and they were funny when he did his little bits.
Yeah.
That was about it.
But he's also made Jungle Cruise, hasn't he?
Oh, now that's something I'm excited for. Yes.
But
that I'm that's going to go one of two ways. That's going to be the new Pirates of the Caribbean, or it's going to be the new fucking Prince of Persia. You know what I mean? It's going to be.
Well, apparently he's the boat captain.
Yeah, I hear this. Yeah. But have you been on Jungle Cruise like within the last 5? No, I don't know, even 10 years maybe.
I've never been to Disney before.
Right. Okay. So Jungle Cruise is like a big deal because it's like one of Disney's original ones. It's like when he was alive. You know, you sit on a boat, you go around, animatronic animals come out, and you've got some guy at the front that like talks through it, and it's like, whoa, look over there! Like, what's happening over there? Oh, there's the tribes people. You better keep going. And it's like a scripted thing, you know. But the way that the Disney cast members work now is they work a lot more with the audience, and they're told to be a lot more comedic and very American funny, which I like, which is fine. But the last time we went on there, the whole thing from beginning to end was one-liner jokes, and he joked about the fact that you're on a ride and look at that fake thing over there, and it was hilarious, but it's completely just taking the piss out about how old school that ride looks. I mean, they never get rid of it. I mean, I'm talking the Californian one, to be fair, and that's even older than the Florida one, obviously. I assume actually. No, it definitely is because it was when he was alive.
Yeah, it definitely would be.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. So it's a comedy sketch now when you go on that ride. So I don't know. I mean, I'm going to go to the Caribbean. They've done it up, haven't they? They keep doing up that ride, so it's still a piratey ride, and they've done that new version in Shanghai, which looks fucking astronomically amazing.
Yeah. Well, a little gutted though with Universal Studios just removing so many rides.
Yeah,
to replace them.
Jaws, Back to the Future,
Terminator
2.
Yeah.
I fucking love those ones. I really like the Terminator 3D.
I'm really gutted about Jaws, to be honest. I would have looked because it's such an iconic ride.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I suppose because you're on an actual boat and there's an actual shark underneath there, and you still got the worry that if you do fall off this boat, even though it's a fucking mechanical, you've got a mechanical Jaws underneath you.
Well, apparently some guy did actually die when he fell in one.
No, he didn't die. He fell in, but he didn't die.
Did he get hurt?
No, he reckons he got traumatized, and obviously I don't know if that's correct, but you would fucking say that if you want to be suing Disney.
Universal. But no, it's a shame they've taken out so many of these things, and they've closed the Ghostbusters firehouse down, and they've just removed so much of what was classic Universal stuff to make like fucking Minion Mayhem and Jimmy Kimmel's Ride Through New York.
Universal is still fucking amazing, but
Mm.
it's not class. When you hear, maybe it's our age, but when you hear Universal, you think of the classic Universal movies of Back to the Future and God knows whatever else, and that none of that's besides things like ET. Actually, no, ET isn't even Universal, but ET is there.
E.T.'s Universal.
Oh, it is. Okay, so
Yeah.
ET's there, but that's the only one that they're not allowed to get rid of.
Do they
Yeah,
still
'cause
have all
Steven-
the sort of monster franchises then as well? All the Universal monsters?
More on Halloween.
Yeah, but sorry, Dan. I'm just going to say. Do you mean like the King Kong stuff, Andrew?
Frankenstein.
Yeah, they got that, but they
Yeah.
had, but the disaster stuff all got removed, didn't it? For
Yeah, fucking Fast and Furious.
yeah, that
Oh.
video. What you need to do, Andrew, is there's a great guy called Expedition Theme Park.
Right.
Yeah, brilliant guy.
Because he's had astronomical growth. He's just hit 100k, hasn't he? This.
Oh, he just hit it.
Yeah, he hit it like a week ago.
Oh, I'm going to text him for that.
Yeah, really awesome guy. But he did a video explaining about. Well, he does about different rides, but he explains about the Fast and Furious ride in Universal, and basically Universal so much good stuff to put in this shit ride that everyone hates.
Yeah.
There's no two ways to talk about it, right? Because I've got, as I've been saying,
Rock even promoted it. You know what I mean? Like he was there, and it still hasn't saved it. Really bad, right?
Well, this is the interesting thing, right? I've got on my phone, ready for my holiday. I've got the wait queues apps on my phone, so I can see how long the wait the waits are for the rides.
Yeah, I've got one for Paris.
Right. So one of the big things they removed was one of the big things they've removed and put in is this Jimmy Fallon Race Through New York. It's got a 5-minute wait on it.
Okay. Nice and quick.
Which is yeah, but that right. Fast and Furious Supercharged has a 10-minute wait.
That's how did they fuck that up?
Because I remember at Disney when I went a few years ago now. The waits were fucking ages, like ages, half hour,
but this
something
is,
like
but,
that.
But what I'm saying is, Andrew, I agree with you there. But if you look, right, Jurassic Park River Adventure, which is a very old, as a 20-year-old ride now, isn't it, Dan?
Is it Jurassic Park? Was it say Jurassic
It's the original one.
Right. Okay.
Still there.
It's old school.
That's got a 25-minute. That's got a 25-minute wait.
Wow. So what's the longest wait when you doesn't order it that way?
No, I can tell you the longest wait. It's Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbicycle Adventure.
Brand new,
120 minutes plus.
Gee, can you imagine that?
I'd probably queue for that if I'm honest, even though it's that. If I didn't have kids.
Yeah, but for Disney we got fast passes, which are really cool anyway. So that does help matters. But I can't use fast pass in Galaxy's Edge when it opens.
Nope.
Because that actually opens tomorrow. Well, or today our time, or tomorrow in America to the public.
Have you been to Legoland recently?
I have.
Oh yeah.
Do you mean Legoland near you?
Yeah, I think I went last year. I think it was all right.
I went last year and wrote my car off, so we've not tried to go again.
What, at Legoland, did you drive it into a ride?
No, we
in the end to learn how to drive.
That's right, yeah. I wrote my car off and learned how to drive. No, that was where I crashed my car on the moat.
Right.
Rain.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
So we've not tried to go back yet.
Yeah, so McBeam says you spend your whole time in line.
It's such a perfectly average ride.
Which one?
Sorry, theme park.
What, Legoland?
Now I've got a little boy. He loves it, and it's great. But why isn't that an all ages thing? It's like that's the thing. Like, people that haven't been to Disney think Disney's a kids theme park. But when you go there as a family, or even as an adult without a kid, you realise how much there is to do for adults. I mean,
Yeah, it'd be better to go without kids, to be honest, I reckon.
Believe me,
I would love to go without kids. Every time it's like with kids, it's a nightmare. But without them, you'd really be able to do whatever the hell you want quickly.
You know, like you look at those like you got the Twilight Zone ride and stuff like that. Fucking awesome. Like really, really fucking good rides. And you know, I mean, like the Runaway Train in
in Paris is a brutally fast ride. It's essentially a roller coaster. It's not like a runaway train. It's so fast because it goes underneath a fucking moat, a massive river that
Yeah.
a mental-sized boat that goes over. So it has to be well deep. And then you end up on an island in the middle. It's huge. Brilliant theme park. But I don't know why they don't do it with Lego. Lego's liked by all ages. So why they've got all of these properties under their belt? How the fuck have they not been? Maybe there's licensing issues with Marvel, perhaps, but even if there was DC stuff, I'm sure they would be able to pull some strings and do a DC Lego ride of some sort. But every single ride at Legoland Windsor's aimed at fucking 10-year or even 5-year-olds and under. It's tiny.
Mm.
Like
I
my
agree
first
with you.
roller coaster. I don't know why they're not aimed at all ages.
What I will say, I have enjoyed about looking at the Disney rides and sorting out what we're going to do. There's a lot to do at Disney with taking my parents as well, because my father's 72 and my mother's in her late 60s. My father's had a hip replacement, so he can't go on any kind of ride. He couldn't go on like a roller coaster.
We went to Disney with my dad when my brother got married. My dad's in his 70s. He had a hip replacement as well. He was actually okay. He got to do lots of different things.
Yeah, that's what we're thinking. There's so much he can do on the other rides, as long as he doesn't do the extreme type rides. He's absolutely fine. I mean, the only one that he really can't. The one he can't do is Avatar Flight of Passage, because he won't be able to lift his leg to actually get on the vehicle.
That's a shame. That's supposed to be like one of the best rides.
Yeah, I'll have a go on that, but it's because it's you effectively you're sitting on like a motorbike.
Right.
He can't lift his hip that way to be able to do that, but he can go on pretty much everything else.
There you go.
So that's pretty cool. But looking at Disney, the wait times seem to be more spread out, to be honest.
We went and we were there in the morning, and it was during Easter, so there's loads and loads of Americans there. And to be honest, I felt it was purgatory. I thought, I can't wait to get out of here. But about kind of 1 o'clock and so on, it started to empty out, and I had a really, really good afternoon. So I think because people buy all these passes, they all turn up first thing in the morning, but in the afternoon it's a lot quieter.
Mm.
You can't be complaining about Americans in an American theme park.
Well, no, not really completely. I'm just saying that the locals obviously went because they were on holiday.
Yeah.
Normally they wouldn't be able to go because they'd be just doing their normal working in school and stuff.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I need to get back to Florida. I really want to.
Yeah. God, that's good. Expedition Everest has only got a 5-minute wait at the moment.
Yeah, I never got to go on that one.
I want to do that one because that's the one that's broke. That's the perpetually broken ride, isn't it? Where the Yeti's broken, but they can't fix him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Didn't they find it was like trying to like break its mountings or something?
Yeah, actually ruin the structure of the ride.
Mm.
They'd have to literally rip the ride apart to fix.
I watch way too many of those Disney things though. Do you watch the old Disney things, the Defunct Land, all of that stuff?
Yeah, well, exactly. That's
Yeah.
like you should watch Expedition Theme Park.
I
good.
probably have seen it. I probably just don't remember
He's
because
good.
YouTube has that friggin' behavior where it doesn't let me watch any of the people I subscribe to unless I explicitly go and fucking find them.
Well, you saw what happened last night when I tried to search your channel. It was trying to push somebody else's tits onto me.
Yeah, that's true. You were blaming me for the pornographic suggestions on your channel.
Well, not blaming you. I'm just saying that they're pushing tits in your channel.
It's not. It's targeted advertising. It's pushing tits on yours, and on Daniel's it'll be Mega Drive videos. It's just from what you watch.
Why is he not pushing Tenant Super on me then? Andrew, were you saying when I changed, I was 11 there. I've just come back through to the bedroom. Were you saying that the newer Disney rides are not as popular as the old ones?
Not Disney, Universal.
Okay, but yeah, the newer ones are not as popular as the old ones.
Not for the most part, no. I mean, things like the Harry Potter stuff, yes, because it's Harry Potter and that's just printing fucking money. But if you look at the other stuff, it's not a patch on it. Like they spent. You need to watch. There's a video by, like I say, something like this guy called Exhibition Theme Park. Really good guy. He's done a video all about the Fast and Furious ride they put in Universal. He says how much money they spent. It's like one of the most expensive rides they've ever done, and the whole thing is a fucking mess. Everyone hates it, and it's got no queue for it 'cause no one wants to go on it.
But I don't know why they just can't fix it. I mean, Jaws was shit when it opened.
Yeah, but the problem is, if you watch that video for what the ride is, it's basically a slow-moving bus you're sat in with a projection screen next to you.
But they did that with not the original King Kong, obviously, but they've done that with the new version of King Kong, the Peter Jackson version. He did like a, and that was too bad. I mean, I'd be upset if I queued for it. That wasn't too bad.
Yeah, but this one as well, it looks like a computer game as well. Apparently, it's just really bad because they even just digitally recreated all the actors. Everything in the film you watch is digital except their faces, which are mapped onto the bodies.
Yeah.
It just looks fake, and it just isn't good at all. I think one of the things he even says in the video is it's like the background looks like a cheap cartoon.
Yeah.
So
That was
it's just not good. It's just a shame because they removed the disaster ride for that.
Yeah, they did. The one from Beverly Hills Cop.
No, that's the one in. No, that would be in California, wouldn't it?
But it's the same ride, Earthquake.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Beverly Hills Cop. They used that ride.
Yeah, they removed all that to put this in, and it's just apparently.
The mummy's still there, I believe.
I think in California it is, yeah.
But not in Florida.
No.
See, that's a fucking.
Oh no, Revenge of the Mummy is there. Sorry.
That's a good ride. It's like an indoor roller.
Yeah.
When you leave it, I think it's that way. Yeah, when you leave the Mummy ride and look up, you in the gift shop. I think it's there. You can see some of the track for the original King Kong ride.
Right.
Still, so I went on Back to the Future. I've done that a few times. That was fucking awesome. Same with Terminator 2. Never as good as the first time, but that was out of this world. I went to the Nickelodeon Studios in Universal Studios, Orlando, Florida.
Yeah, which is gone now.
Yeah, that's gone. Where else have I been? I've been obviously Jaws, Earthquake. I went on the Ghostbuster ride. That was fucking. I'm really chuffed I was able to stay up with that.
Yeah.
I don't know what else was there that we would have. Oh, E.T. obviously.
Yeah, it's just shown so much of this classic stuff has gone.
Yeah, it has. But I'll tell you what, Transformers ride is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that a go. But one thing
and you've got the Islands of Adventure as well.
Yeah,
good. That's good.
One thing at Disney I'm going to take a photo of that's going to piss me off in Disney is what they did with the prop from the Flight of the Navigator, the film.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, have you seen that, Andrew?
Which one? Which prop?
Have you seen the film Flight of the?
Yeah,
seen the film
of course
Flight
I've
of the
seen it.
Navigator?
Yeah, definitely.
Disney took one of the model ships the full-size model ships that they used in the film.
Okay.
They left it rotting in the back lot for years. They painted it bright red and stuck some fake windows and like rocket boosters, so it looks like one of the ships. It looks a bit like the ship out of Futurama now, and it's on top of a lemonade stand.
Lame.
And it's an actual film prop. They did that too.
Is it one they had loads of?
Nope.
Because I always hear in the back lot they've got loads of stuff just rotting away like that.
Oh, there is. There's loads of stuff rotten in the back lot, but no, it's been just effectively butchered by Disney. There's a few of them, a few things there that wrecked.
Well, today I was trying to tell you earlier on about the knee thing I got on Amazon. I linked it. I don't know if you saw it.
Velociraptor. It's not my wife. Such Game with Mrs. It's not. And I told you it was Heather Brooke. It's not my wife. It is Heather Brooke.
Yeah, I know fine well. I'm just being a dick, mate.
I was like, how can I explain this anymore?
Oh, guys, I think I've got to go to bed. I'm up in 4 hours.
Oh, fucking
I
hell.
see.
And my
Alright,
my
gang.
building's going bankrupt. I'm not giving it enough, like, not awake enough to service my clients' needs. Now I'm getting bankrupt at 3 grand a day. So there we go. Just like real life. So,
Alright, mate.
well, thanks everybody in the chat for joining and the stream, and of course, all the Daniel, Andrew, Velociraptor. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.